the narrator explains. Heavenly Demon Divine Cult Kaifeng Branch Guest Hall. Qian Yuan thought to himself. Nano, what are the analysis results? The assistant replied. It is of the same material as the sample you possess, jade. Qian Yuan thought. The identity plaque of my grandfather who went missing 20 years ago. He continued his thought. All of the cult members in Zhongyuan were tasked with searching for him, but it was a failure in the end. Ma Raqiong warned, Demon Lord, you must prepare for all possibilities. He added, the plaque is real, but this situation is rather suspicious. Qian Yuan replied, we'll see. He thought to himself. I was the only person he had met before he went missing, but he did not tell me why he was leaving. Ma Raqiong thought to himself. The Supreme Heavenly Demon had always been such a careful man. He added, it's hard to believe he had given someone his own identity plaque to reach us. The guard announced loudly, I greet the Demon Lord. Danbaek Yun thought to himself. This person is the demonic cult leader? He reasoned. I can't even detect a single trace of martial arts on him. He just seems like the son of some renowned family. He wondered, are these people playing a trick on me to try and test me? Danbaek Yun thought, but I can feel immense aura from the masked person next to him. He wondered, is he perhaps the Dark King? Then the person right in front of me must really be the demonic cult leader. Qian Yuan asked. Are you the person that brought the plaque? Danbaek Yun reacted in surprise. He answered, well yes. You had been adamant that you cannot reveal anything until you see the Demon Lord. Now that he's in front of you, you're just gonna stand there, spacing out without introducing yourself? Danbaek Yun announced. It is an honor to be in the presence of the leader of the Heavenly Demon Divine Cult. He declared, I am here as a representative of the Northern Sea Ice Palace. My name is Danbaek Yun. Qian Yuan asked in surprise. The Northern Sea Ice Palace? The narrator stated, the three forces outside the walls. The people outside Zhongyuan created their own Zhonghu. The narrator detailed. On Changbai Mountain in the east resides the Changbai sect, the sect considered to be the origin of swordsmanship. The narrator continued. The Potala Palace, similar to the Shaolin Temple, is famous for its internal energy cultivation techniques in Gelug, which emerged in Tibet. The narrator added. Lastly, the Northern Sea, Lake Baikal, is a snowy region where the Northern Sea Ice Palace resides. They practice yin martial arts. Ma Raqiong thought to himself. The Northern Sea Ice Palace came down with the goal of taking over the Zhonghu 30 years ago and gave up on the war not even a month in. He wondered. I thought they had promised peace with the Orthodox Muram alliance back then, so why are they here? Qian Yuan asked. A representative of the Northern Sea Ice Palace. He thought to himself. He looks more like a beggar with his face full of scars and his raggedy clothing. Ma Raqiong asked. If you really are a representative of the Northern Sea Ice Palace, don't you have anything to prove your identity? Danbaek Yun stuttered. Oh, well, the truth is, I'm not really the representative. It's my uncle, Moon Gyu asked. Your uncle? Danbaek Yun panicked. I am not sure how to explain, Hyobong thought to himself. He's suspicious, Danbaek Yun stated. But I can prove to you that I am from the Northern Sea Ice Palace. He requested. Could you undo the restrictions on my internal energy for a bit? Ko Wanger asked. Your internal energy? Danbaek Yun said. Watch closely. He breathed out. Ha! Frost began to form as the water in his cup froze solid. Hyobong asked. Did it freeze? He added in awe. Ooh, Danbaek Yun thought to himself. I could have shown them the ice-white divine palm, which represents the Northern Sea Ice Palace, earlier, but I panicked instead and just made them more suspicious of me. He noticed their expressions. Huh? Danbaek Yun wondered. Why do they still look doubtful? He thought. I showed them the ice arts. Qian Yuan reached out his hand. The table froze over instantly under a massive layer of ice. Danbaek Yun yelled. Oh, what? He thought in shock. The table froze over in just a second. He wondered. How does he have internal energy of such extreme yin? He noted. It's much faster than the internal energy application of the ice-white divine arts. Qian Yuan asked with a smirk. Does this also make me a person of the Northern Sea Ice Palace then? Danbaek Yun stuttered. If that's, Ma Raqiong asked. How do you have this kind of yin energy? Qian Yuan replied. Is that what's important? I don't think it's that difficult. Demon Lord, there's a much easier way of going about this. He suggested. I can make this person confess much easier, Danbaek Yun shouted. Wait, please, he explained. I'm sure you're aware that someone who has mastered the ice-white divine arts to the fullest has white hair due to the effects of their internal energy. He pointed. But your hair is dark. He continued. I have yet to master it so that my hair is always white. If I concentrate my chi to the 10th mastery level, my hair will turn white. Qian Yuan asked. Is that right, head guardian? Ma Rakiom replied. I'm not sure either, he thought to himself. The head of the darkness sect might know, but he's currently at the 10,000 Great Mountains. Ma Rakiom reacted. He suggested. Wang Jian might know. He should have been a part of the Orthodox Muram alliance 30 years ago. Qian Yuan said. Oh, that's right, he commanded. Hiobong, bring Wang Jian here. Hiobong responded. Yes, Demon Lord. Danbek Yun thought to himself. Wang Jian. By Wang Jian, does he mean the unrivaled sword? He reflected. I did hear rumors that he had joined the demonic cult. It must have been true. He thought. 2 of the 5 great martial artists of Zhongyuan just in the demonic cult, he concluded. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that they have the authority over the Zhonghu. Qian Yuan commanded. Stop getting surprised and prove your identity. Danbek Yun replied. I understand. Danbek Yun thought to himself. I didn't learn the ice-white divine arts for this kind of purpose, but this is the only way I can prove who I am right now. Ko Wanger noted. Ooh! Danbek Yun's hair turned snow-white and his skin became pale. His skin has turned pale, and his hair has turned white from its roots. Qian Yuan thought. Interesting, he observed. I don't know what kind of internal energy circulation technique that is, but there is a mysterious aura to it too. Danbek Yun breathed. Phew. Qian Yuan asked. Did you see that? Ma Rakiom nodded. Danbek Yun thought to himself. The atmosphere has definitely changed from earlier. He reasoned. Now, if the unrivaled sword testifies, I should be able to ask the demonic cult leader for help. He noted. Most importantly, I have the Supreme Heavenly Demon's identity plaque. Hiobong announced. Demon Lord, I've brought Sir Wang Jian. Danbek Yun reacted. Oh, he thought to himself. I had heard about him ever since I was young. I'm finally getting to meet him. He suddenly stopped. Eh? Wang Jian asked. You called, my lord? Wang Yogun entered alongside her father. Danbek Yun thought in awe. This energy, he wondered. Did that lady also learn such powerful ice arts that her hair turned white? He despaired. This can't be. I can't believe there's someone with a stronger yin internal energy than me. He panicked. I have no other means of convincing these people now. Danbek Yun yelled. Something's wrong. How is that lady? He shouted. Without learning the ice-white divine arts, that's... Hiobong asked. No one said anything. The narrator stated the setting. Orthodox Muram Alliance main base. In front of the master's conference room reception area. The narrator identified the man as Danbek Yun's uncle, Danju Seong. Danju Seong thought to himself. Something like that had to happen in Tong Xu County of all times. This is bad, he reasoned. The forces of the Orthodox Muram Alliance must have also taken a big hit. We might not be able to get their help, he noted. It has been almost 2 hours since I relayed the message to them. He thought, I'm in a hurry, so it would be nice if they'd give me their response anytime now, the narrator stated. Conference room of the masters. A master shouted. Though we have been in communication with the Northern Sea, and we do have a peace treaty with them, this is still too dangerous. Another master said. I agree, he asked. Why is such a monster sealed in the Northern Sea Ice Palace in the first place? Li Mok remained silent. Danju Seong yelled. You must not underestimate the gravity of this matter. He screamed. The dragon turtle is the manifestation of the worst calamity humanity could ever dream of that has existed long ago. He declared. It is not something we can handle, the narrator explained. The 5 sacred beings consisted of the Great Pung, the Amugi, the Wind White Tiger, the Fire Kirin, and the Dragon Turtle. The narrator stated. Amongst them was the Dragon Turtle, a mythical creature with the head of a dragon and the shell of a turtle. The narrator added. The Dragon Turtle used to be worshipped by merchants who hoped for a blessing of gold and riches, the narrator noted. However, the Dragon Turtle was not what they had expected. Mo Yinkong spoke. I'm sure you're aware that the Mo Yin clan is from the fallen Yan dynasty. The narrator identified him as 7th Master Mo Yin clan's patriarch Mo Yinkong. Mo Yinkong explained. A dragon turtle with 3 heads appeared in the Yan dynasty and destroyed 5 provinces. He added. Tens of thousands of civilians died. He continued. We were only able to barely kill the dragon turtle because we had reinforcements of countless soldiers and martial artists of the Zhonghu. Mo Yinkong stated. The creature is not called a calamity for no reason. He concluded. We cannot help them given our situation right now. Great Master Gak Yin argued. Amitabha, if we are to deny their request for help, the Northern Sea Ice Palace might be wiped off the face of the earth. He added. We are allied. How will the others of the Zhonghu see us if we ignore their cries for help? Mo Yinkong countered. Even so, Juk Yang said. I agree with him, Mo Ying Patriarch. The narrator identified him as 14th Master Zhongnan Sect Juk Yang. Juk Yang asked. Our Muram Alliance is supposed to uphold justice. Don't you think we'd be going against that if we choose not to help out the Northern Sea Ice Palace? Mo Ying-kong thought to himself. He spoke aloud. Justice? Alright, it's given that we uphold righteousness as orthodox martial artists. He argued. However, the Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts Sect, the demonic cult, as well as the Unorthodox Alliance are growing in power every day. He asked, who is to protect Zhang Yuan if we suffer more losses than we already have? Another master added, if we help them but try to prevent losses on our end, he asked. Did the Mo Ying patriarch not just say that the dragon turtle is so powerful, it destroyed 5 provinces? He questioned. Do you not understand how dangerous the creature is? He suggested. We should be thankful the dragon turtle was freed using explosives borrowed from Zhang Yuan instead of Zhang Yuan, Gakyen warned. Amitabha, you are crossing the line. Li Mok observed. Both sides are considering the future of the alliance. He noted. However, it is written here that the sealed dragon turtle was freed using explosives borrowed from Zhang Yuan. He added, it's bothering me. He asked, do you also find this strange? The narrator identified the young man as Alliance head Li Mok's second son Kong So-ah. Kong So-ah remained silent. Li Mok thought to himself. The more time passes, the more dangerous this lad seems to become. He reflected, but it is true that he is as talented as his older brother. Kong So-ah thought, we must eradicate those from the Unorthodox Alliance and the demonic cult. Li Mok thought, he's always had very intense bloodlust ever since 10 years ago. He added, he is the most ambitious of my 3 sons, so I tried to keep him away from the successor position. Yin Buso groaned in his sleep. UEGH, he muttered. Monster. He's a monster. Li Mok thought to himself. It's been 2 weeks since Yin Buso's return, but he has yet to recover mentally. He noted, though I have been giving So-ah a chance to participate in such meetings, as for how it will turn out, I do not know. Kong So-ah spoke. Alliance head, masters, could I ask you for a favor? Gakyen asked. Amitabha, what is it? Kong So-ah explained. There is something I would like to ask the messenger from the Northern Sea Ice Palace. He asked, could I bring him in here for a while? Mo Ying-kong noted, we have yet to come to a conclusion, though. Kong So-ah replied, it's an important matter. His answer should be decisive on whether we will help the Ice Palace or not. The messenger was brought inside. Danju Seong thought to himself, have they finally come to a decision? Kong So-ah stated, I would like to ask you a question. He added, I read in the letter that there has been a search for the divine relic underground and that the ice stone was broken for it too. He noted, even though the dragon turtle might be alive. Danju Seong reacted. He yelled, I said it's an urgent matter, yet they still haven't made a decision. He explained, it has been hundreds of years since the dragon turtle was sealed in the ice stone. We thought that would be enough time for the dragon turtle to die. Kong So-ah remarked, is that so? Well, no matter. Danju Seong thought to himself, what is this? It feels like I'm being interrogated. Kong So-ah continued, but after that, the letter says, that this happened because of the explosives taken from Zhang Yuan. Danju Seong replied, that's right. Kong So-ah noted, it's rather vague, though. He asked, could I ask exactly where the explosives are from? Danju Seong wondered, why do you ask? Kong So-ah explained, the explosives must have been very powerful if they were enough to destroy the place where the dragon turtle was sealed. He added, it is said that such an explosive was sourced from Zhang Yuan. Danju Seong confirmed, that's correct. Kong So-ah stated, but such a strong explosive would have to be something like the true heavenly lightning, which is owned by the government, and the use of it outside of governmental purposes is banned. He added, even we, the Murum Alliance, who are very close to the government, cannot get our hands on them. The masters reacted in shock. Li Mok thought to himself. The Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts Sect had planted a bunch of true heavenly lightnings underground during the treaty ceremony, too. He reflected, that has also been bothering me. Danju Seong stood silent. He breathed. Phew, he admitted. I did not want to talk about this since it is related to the internal conflicts of the government, but you leave me no choice. He revealed, to be honest, we got those explosives from some strange organization in Zhongyuan. He added, they brought it to us, actually. Kong So-ah asked, what organization? Danju Seong replied, we do not know. Kong So-ah questioned, what do you mean? Danju Seong explained, we only heard that the organization was a sect of Zhang Yuan's Zhonghu and that they had connections to the elders of the Ice Palace. He added, they said they couldn't reveal their identities since the explosives were banned in Zhang Yuan as well. Kong So-ah asked, do you mean to tell me that your elder refused to tell you who they are? He declared, I find this hard to believe. Danju Seong stated, nothing can be done. The elder is no longer with us. Kong So-ah asked, sorry? Danju Seong explained, the palace master and the elder. died from being trapped under the ice stone where the dragon turtle was. The masters reacted in surprise. Danju Seong thought to himself. So that's why the seal on the letter is not of the palace master but of a proxy. Lee Mok said, "What terrible news. I'm sorry about the accident." Danju Seong replied, "Though I appreciate the sentiment, the palace master's death was not accidental." Lee Mok asked, "What do you mean?" The messenger reached into his hair and pulled out a hidden scrap of cloth. Kong So-ah wondered. He asked, "This is..." He gasped in shock. "Oh, what is this?" Lee Mok reacted with horror. He shouted, "Those blade marks." Danju Seong explained, "I had copied the wounds of the only remaining survivor there." Lee Mok realized, "Those are from the Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts Sect." The narrator stated, at the Kaifeng Branch Guest Hall. Dan Baek-yun sat with the cult leaders. "Do you recognize this martial technique?" Ma Rakiom answered, "It's the Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts Sect's Supreme Saber Divine Martial Arts." Dan Baek-yun gasped. "The Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts Sect?" He asked, "Isn't that the organization that just emerged recently?" He realized in terror, the martial technique that almost killed me was theirs? Cheon Yo-un noted, "They've even reached the Northern Sea." He asked, "Did you say your third elder invited them?" Dan Baek-yun replied, "Yes. He said he knew a sect in Zhongyuan that had been long lost in the Northern Sea Ice Palace that worked with explosives." He explained, "There is a divine relic that had been long lost in the Northern Sea Ice Palace. The relic had always been passed down from palace master to palace master," he continued. "However, in the process of taking down the dragon turtle hundreds of years ago, the palace master at the time and other warriors sacrificed themselves and were buried together in the underground cave of the ice stone." He added, "Of course, it has been centuries since then, so we thought the mythical creature had died." He recounted, "The palace master, the third and fourth elders, and the elite warriors of the Northern Sea Ice Palace used the explosives to create an entrance to the cave." He noted, "The group from the Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts Sect wanted to go with us." He explained, "Since the third elder guaranteed that they were trustworthy, we did not think twice about it." He stated, "We discovered the body of the frozen dragon turtle deep in the cave." He finished grimly. "That was when it all went down." He continued, "The Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts Sects group showed their true colors. They began attacking us." He recounted, "The warriors of the Ice Palace, who are known for their martial prowess, responded calmly despite the sudden ambush." He added, "But there was one factor we did not consider." Dan Baek-yun declared, "The third elder, whom we had thought of as our ally, stabbed the palace master in the back." He explained, "After that, the palace master was attacked by the people of Six Martial Arts Sect and died on the spot." He added, "The Ice Palace's warriors and I tried to fend them off, but they were too strong. We were unable to keep up the fight against them for long." He muttered, "I thought it was all over. Everyone had died, and I was barely alive." He recounted, "Just when I had given up on everything, for some reason, the explosives they were carrying went off." He stated, "That's when the ice wall broke down and the unexpected happened." He asked, "Who would have ever thought the monster that had been frozen for hundreds of years would still be alive?" Finally free, the dragon turtle went wild. Dan Baek-yun continued, "The martial artists of the Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts Sect charged at it. But in the end, they couldn't even inflict a scratch on its scales." He added, "Instead, they were killed by its electric attack." He noted, "However, some from the Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts Sects group wore steel masks and used a completely different type of martial arts." He reflected, "One of them was so skilled that I don't think even the palace master could have put up a fight against him in a fair duel." He stated, "Nevertheless, even that martial master was helpless in the face of the monster. The dragon turtle was calamity itself." He explained, "While everyone was distracted, I got out of there. I ran like crazy and didn't even bother to look back. I heard another very loud explosion during my escape. I assume the martial artists with steel masks set off more explosives to kill the dragon turtle." He added, "I don't know how long I ran, but at some point, I stopped hearing the fight. I thought everyone in there was dead." He sighed, "But it was all my delusion." He continued, "The moment one of the dragon turtle's heads broke through the surface, I froze on the spot." He added, "I knew instinctively that I couldn't run away from that monster." He said, "The monster charged at me, and just as I accepted my death, someone appeared and stabbed the dragon turtle in the eyes." Cheon Yo-un asked, "Is the person that saved you?" Dan Baek-yun confirmed, "Yes, it was a man with a steel mask who had amazing martial skills." He admitted, "I didn't understand why he saved me. I thought he was with the Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts Sect." The masked man commanded in a flashback, "Run and call for help. We cannot let them have the dragon turtle no matter what." Dan Baek-yun explained, "I figured he wasn't my enemy, so I suggested that we run away together. but he said he had to make sure the dragon turtle doesn't make it out of the cave. He added, he gave me the identity plaque I showed you and told me to go find the head of the heavenly demon divine cult. He finished. After that, he disappeared through the hole the dragon turtle made. Ma Rakiom thought to himself. That man with the steel mask must be, Dan Baek-yeon stated. He said he was the owner of that identity plaque. I didn't ask who he was referring to when he said that they cannot have the dragon turtle. Cheon Yo-un approached him. Dan Baek-yeon reacted. Do you perhaps remember any of the moves of the masked man's martial arts? Dan Baek-yeon stuttered. It's too difficult for me to try to imitate. Just try it, Ma Rakiom added. It's fine even if it's not good. Just imitate whatever you can recall. Ma Rakiom said. Demon Lord. He looked at the cult leader and thought to himself. Dan Baek-yeon thought to himself. I don't remember too well, so don't have high expectations. He focused. The sword technique he used against the dragon turtle, he decided. Alright, I'll just give it a try. Dan Baek-yeon breathed out. Phew. He performed a move and said. It was something like this. Hyobong wondered. Hua. Oh, what is he doing? Is that really a move? Ma Rakiom gasped. The heavenly demon sword art. He cried out. Demon Lord. It must be him. He realized. It has to be the former supreme heavenly demon. The narrator stated the setting. Sichuan Hidden Bone Mountain, Death Valley. A warrior fought a losing battle against a powerful opponent. The warrior groaned. Kook. An observer remarked. Amazing. To put up a fight against the Blade Master. An elder with a large hat agreed. I agree, he noted. I see why the head of the unorthodox alliance is struggling with internal conflict. The younger observer replied. It's just a desperate struggle. The elder pointed out. The Blade Master has not moved a single step during the entire fight. He added. No matter how talented he is, it's like trying to break a rock with an egg. The younger observer said. We all know that. We're just impressed that he is so skilled at such a young age. The warrior thought to himself in shock. The swift clone technique, the warrior shouted. Ha! The younger observer asked. Chi sword control too? The Zhonghu sure is vast. He added. I didn't know there was someone that age other than the demon god who is that skilled. He smiled and noted. How unlucky of him. He just had to meet the Blade Master before he even managed to fully bloom. The warrior gritted his teeth and thought. He's a monster. He reflected. I've improved much since my fight against the proud West King, but I can't even get him to move a step. He despaired. This was my opportunity to kill the proud West King Hang Yin's right hand. He thought. Looks like I'm gonna be the one to die instead because of these people who appeared out of nowhere. The Blade Master asked flatly. Is that all? The warrior groaned. Kook. He thought to himself. I don't have an answer. I wasn't even able to scratch him. He added. I only managed to slightly cut his hat. The Blade Master smirked. I kept watching because you used various kinds of techniques. It was interesting, he stated. You used a total of 38 martial techniques. The warrior asked in shock. How did you? The Blade Master asked. Do you not know any more than that? The warrior stood silent. The Blade Master declared. Then there is nothing more for me to see. The warrior reacted in terror. He thought to himself. This is an incredible amount of true energy. He wondered. Is he going to? The warrior cried out as he was struck. Warrior thought to himself. Formless chi blade control. He groaned. Kaebek. He reflected. That means this monster of a man is at the life and death realm. He added. My instincts were correct. There is no way I can defeat this mon. The observer laughed. Haha, he noted. There won't even be a body to recover. The elder observer stated. Your martial arts prowess is godly. He added. You defeated that monster of a man with such ease, as if dealing with a child. The Blade Master stood silent. The younger observer remarked. There is nothing impossible for the Blade Master. He asked. Did you say that you're Sang Dal, the Massacre Blade sect leader? He added. I'm sure the Alliance head will be very happy to hear this news. The narrator identified him. Unorthodox Alliance second-in-command Gong Yun. The Blade Master spoke. I'm glad to hear that. Since we have carried out your request, I hope the Unorthodox Alliance will also keep up their side of the agreement. Gong Yun replied. Of course. He explained. We've gotten rid of the bastard that's been rebelling against the Alliance head, so we just need to take care of the guys that were working with that bastard. The Blade Master thought to himself. The formless chi blade control pierced through that man's heart, and I even sensed his heartbeat stopping through my true energy. He wondered. So why do I feel like something's off? What is it? It's getting on my nerves. The subordinate called out. Blade Master. He reported. It seems there is a problem at the Northern Sea Ice Palace. The Blade Master remained silent. The subordinate explained. Most of the spies we had planted there have died. It seems like only 2 sect leaders and 1 from the Demon Iron Squad are alive. The Blade Master thought. He reflected. The demon god has not intervened, so why has the plan failed? The injured spy groaned. Kook. It seems that the dragon turtle is not dead. Kook, the blade master asked. The dragon turtle is alive? The spy replied. Well yeah, Keuheuk, yes, he added. On top of that, apparently, it has 4 heads, unlike what we knew. The spy groaned and coughed. Keuheuk, the blade master smiled. A dragon turtle with 4 heads, he thought to himself. That makes sense if its spiritual power has gotten stronger during the time of its confinement throughout the centuries. He commanded, Massacre Blade Sect Leader. The leader responded. Yes, sir. The Blade Master ordered. Take your Blade Massacre Squad and 20 of the Demon Iron Squad and bring me the Dragon Turtle's blood and innate core. The leaders reacted in surprise. The spy stuttered. However, 20 is half of the entire Demon Iron Squad. The Blade Master stated, that squad was formed for this kind of work in the first place. That should be enough, yes? The female leader asked. Are you sure it'll be alright to entrust half of the squad to me? She added. I heard the thing in the Potala Palace might be alive as well. The Blade Master asked. Since when did you question my orders? She replied. I apologize. I shall carry out your orders. The Blade Master declared. Do not concern yourself over the Potala Palace. I will take care of it. The narrator stated the setting. Orthodox Muram Alliance Headquarters. The narrator identified the groups. Hwangbo Clan's top 100 martial artists and their patriarch 15th Master Hwangbo Nung. Moying Clan's top 100 martial artists and their patriarch 7th Master Moying Kong. One of the Muram Alliance's top 4 groups Black Shadow Squad. Kong So-ah said, Thank you for your cooperation, Patriarch Moying. He added, You will be of great help to us since the Moyongs are resistant to the cold. The narrator identified him. Alliance head Lee Mok's second son leader of the Black Shadow Squad Kong So-ah. Moying Kong replied, You should thank your father. I would not have joined if it weren't for the Alliance head. Kong So-ah stated, of course. I am grateful to you all. Thank you for agreeing to help. He continued, If the Supreme Saber of 6 martial arts sect is after the Dragon Turtle, then it's clear they're scheming something. Moying Kong remarked, It's only a given that we help our fellow orthodox martial artists. Kong So-ah noted, It was thanks to you that the masters were able to come to an agreement. Yeagle So-hee reacted. She said, Once your older brother comes out of his isolation training, I'm sure he will evaluate your spirit highly. The narrator identified her, ranked first of Zhang Yuan's 3 beauties, second general strategist of the Muram Alliance, Yeagle So-hee. Kong So-ah replied, I don't need him to evaluate me highly. Yeagle So-hee thought to herself, he hasn't changed. She reflected, they've never been on good terms, but I thought that maybe their relationship has improved because of what happened. I guess I was wrong. Kong So-ah declared, Every minute is crucial, he added. I'm sure you're prepared for this, but we are going to rest as little as possible on the way to the Northern Sea. Please take care to watch your stamina. The soldiers shouted. Yes, sir. Kong So-ah commanded. March. Danbaek Yun pleaded. Please help me, he thought to himself. Now that it's certain that the owner of the identity plaque is the demonic cult's former supreme heavenly demon, I cannot miss this opportunity. He believed. I'm sure they'll help me for his sake. Qian Yo noted. According to Wang Jian, the Northern Sea Ice Palace is allied with the Orthodox Muram Alliance. He asked, Why didn't you ask them for help first? Danbaek Yun thought in despair. Shit, is it not gonna work out as I imagined? He replied, I was going to talk about that on the way to the Northern Sea. Qian Yo stated, Don't be mistaken, I do appreciate that you brought us news about the former supreme heavenly demon. He continued, However, it doesn't make sense that the Northern Sea Ice Palace would only send one person as an envoy, let alone someone of your rank. Without even an official request document, at that. He asked, Do you think it makes sense for a mere regular member of the Northern Sea Ice Palace to come down here without even an officially signed document requesting for help when your palace master is dead? Danbaek Yun stuttered. What do you mean? Qian Yo suppressed him with his aura. Danbaek Yun groaned. Goo, he thought to himself. I can't move at all. Qian Yo explained. There are 2 conclusions you can make of this unless you're an idiot. He listed. First, it's that you think you're qualified enough to represent the Northern Sea Ice Palace. Danbaek Yun stood silent. Qian Yo continued. Second, you believe there are enemies within the Northern Sea Ice Palace, which is why you are asking me for help not as its representative, but as an individual. Danbaek Yun thought to himself. I thought he was all martial arts, no intellect, but his insight is insane. I better not try to hide anything from him. He spoke aloud. It was not my intention to deceive you. As you know, I was in a hurry. He added, worried that you might turn me down, I couldn't tell it to you first. Qian Yo asked, Tell me what? Dan Baek-yeon revealed. I am the successor of the Northern Sea Ice Palace. Of course. Dan Baek-yeon said. I am surprised by your wisdom. Please, forgive me. Cheon Yo-an remarked. How bold of you. He added. If you, the Northern Sea Ice Palace's successor, had not been the one to prove to us that the former supreme heavenly demon is still alive, you would have had to pay quite the price for this oversight of yours. Dan Baek-yeon reacted. He declared. I won't hide anything anymore. He explained. As you assumed, the envoy with the official request document went to the Orthodox Muram Alliance. Ko Wenger exclaimed. Ha! Then if we agree to help the Northern Sea, we'll just be getting in the way of things. How strange. If you really are your palace master's successor, then aren't you supposed to be his proxy? According to the rules, yes. He revealed. However, the proxy at the moment is not me, but the vice palace master. My second uncle, Danju Cheon. Cheon Yo-woon observed. That would mean that you have come to our cult for help without any permission. Dan Baek-yeon reacted in surprise. He explained. I had no choice. There are spies still remaining in the palace. Yo-woon questioned. Spies? You mean from the Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts sect? Dan Baek-yeon responded. Yes. The most suspicious ones are Vice Palace Master Danju Cheon and those who follow him. After that incident with the Palace Master and the release of the Dragon Turtle, the first thing they did was to call for a meeting to appoint Danju Cheon as the Palace Master's substitute. Dan Baek-yeon trembled with rage. He continued. If I hadn't been asleep for 2 days when it happened because of my internal injuries, he used the release of the Dragon Turtle as a chance to unify the forces of the Northern Sea Ice Palace into one. As a result, he is currently being treated as a hero. It definitely seems suspicious, but you don't have to be a spy to do all those things. He could just want power. Dan Baek-yeon argued. Father and I would accept it if he wanted that position because he's skilled enough for it. However, he used the palace's vulnerable situation to his advantage to attain power. If something like this happened in your cult, would you think of it as a mere political fight? He's not completely wrong. The Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts sect used a similar method on our cult in the past. Dan Baek-yeon added. In addition to this, the third elder is known as the Vice Palace Master's right hand. The ones who agreed to buy the explosives from the Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts sect were the Vice Palace Master and his. Yo-woon interrupted. That's good enough. I don't think we need to hear any more. We are going to the Northern Sea Ice Palace to secure the safety of the former Supreme Heavenly Demon anyway. Dan Baek-yeon gasped. He cheered. Thank you. Yo-woon warned. But before that, let us form a contract. Dan Baek-yeon asked. Pardon, a contract? He thought to himself. But the safety of your former Supreme Heavenly Demon depends on this matter, Yo-woon explained. Don't be mistaken. If we head to the Northern Sea without an official request, we will end up in a conflict with your Vice Palace Master and the Orthodox Muram Alliance. If we do not manage to find the former Supreme Heavenly Demon or he turns out to be dead, we would have gone there for nothing. Dan Baek-yeon thought to himself. Oh, he needs a clear reason for being there. That makes sense. If the person who saved me back then was killed by the Dragon Turtle and there is no corpse left behind, they'll have no excuse for their appearance. He asked. I can sign a contract, cult leader, but I have no authority in the palace. The Vice Palace Master might deem it invalid. Is that alright with you? Yo-woon replied. It doesn't matter. Dan Baek-yeon thought to himself. What? He doesn't care? Well, that's for the better. I better sign it before he changes his mind. He gripped the brush. But what kind of contract is this? Yo-woon stated. It's simple. You just need to promise us 3 things. Dan Baek-yeon asked. 3 things? I didn't expect that many. What are they? Yo-woon listed. First of all, after defeating the Dragon Turtle, the innate core and blood of the Dragon Turtle will belong to the Heavenly Demon Divine Cult. Dan Baek-yeon questioned. What you mean after you defeat the Dragon Turtle? Yo-woon confirmed. Yes. Secondly, once the Dragon Turtle is dealt with, the Northern Sea Ice Palace will break their alliance with the Orthodox Muram Alliance. Dan Baek-yeon reacted in shock. Pardon? That's. Yo-woon continued. Third, form an alliance with the Heavenly Demon Divine Cult. Write these things down. Dan Baek-yeon was stunned. Yo-woon added. If you agree to those 3 conditions, we will head to the Northern Sea right away. Dan Baek-yeon pleaded. Please wait, cult leader. The things you just mentioned are not matters I have any authority over, Yo-woon told him. You don't need to worry about that. You will soon become the Palace Master. Dan Baek-yeon reacted. He thought to himself. I am going to become the Palace Master. Yo-woon smiled. Now, make your decision, Palace Master. The narrator explains. 15 minutes later, Yo-woon commanded. Summon the 6 Swords Troop right this instant. We're going to the Northern Sea. The narrator explains. The northern regions outside of Zhongyuan. above Gansu, Shaanxi, and Hubei's borders. To get to Lake Baikal, where the Northern Sea Ice Palace is, one must go through the Great Plains ruled by various savage tribes. The 400 elite martial artists of the Orthodox Muram Alliance traveled without rest given the urgency of the situation, and in 3 days' time, they were able to reach the borders of the Great Plains. Kang So-ah rode forward. Yeagle So-hee watched him, the narrator explains. Last night at the Muram Alliance branch in Shaanxi, Danju Seong shouted. You even asked the demonic cult for help? The uncle responded. Yes, Danju Seong argued. However, it wasn't an official request like ours. The successor did it on his own, which means they will not agree to it. I'll excuse myself now. I'm rather tired. I hope you all rest well. Kang So-ah commented. I wasn't expecting this at all. Well, no need to concern ourselves since it was not an official request. A leader of an organization should know that one cannot act rashly without good reason. I'm sure the demonic cult won't help them. Yeagle So-hee agreed. You're right. The demonic cult needs to focus their efforts on setting their foundation stones in Kaifeng. There's no benefit in dividing up their forces. Kang So-ah paused. However, Yeagle So-hee asked. However what? She thought to herself. That's the right answer from a general strategist's perspective, but there is no guarantee the demonic cult leader will act according to our logic. Having observed his behavior, he definitely did not seem like a man who does things as others would expect him to. She continued aloud. Either way, we're allied with the demonic cult at the moment. What do we need to worry about, even if they were to head to the Northern Sea Ice Palace? Kang So-ah asked. I wonder if you can still ask that if the dragon turtle's innate core or corpse, which contains spiritual power, was to go into the demonic cult's hands. Yeagle So-hee reacted. Its innate core. Kang So-ah continued. There's no need to bring up the rights over the innate core here, even though Yian Buso had his arm cut off by the demonic cult leader. He thought to himself. His own fiancé is sitting here, talking about an alliance. You have no backbone. Or have you given in to evil? Yeagle So-hee stood up. What are you trying to say? I have nothing more to say to you. She sighed. Phew. She thought to herself. Of course I hate the demonic cult leader for doing such a thing to my own fiancé. I just didn't say anything about it because there is nothing more foolish than including personal feelings with business. Is he still worried that the demonic cult might come? She realized. Oh. The group continued their journey across the dusty plains. Mo Yin-kang shouted. We're close to the Great Plains. It's the territory of the tribes. Kang So-ah remained silent. Mo Yin-kang continued. The Hwangbo clan and the Yeagle clan might not know, but we, the Mo Yin clan, know to fear the savage tribes. They are not part of the Zhonghu, but they spend all 4 seasons at war. They are adept at horse riding and combat. Of course, I'm not afraid of them if I were to fight one in a duel. But to fight tens of thousands of them on horseback. He thought to himself. It's a good thing Kang So-ah is our commander. The Black Shadow Squad has fought off the savages for 5 years in the northern regions of Shaanxi. Mo Yin-kang said, now that I think about it, I heard that he had come to an agreement with the Great Hung clan's chief recently. I assume all the treasure chests we have in the very back carriage were prepared in case we come across them. I have to hope that nothing will happen during our journey. The horses galloped through the open landscape. Mo Yin-kang looked ahead. He noticed something. We just had to come across them on our very first day. Gray-brown wolf fur clothing. It must be the Great Hung clan. He wondered, are they going to attack us right away? Kang So-ah ordered. Raise your flags. The adjutant responded. Yes, sir. The Black Shadow Squad flags were lifted. Mo Yin-kang noted. Oh, are they their leaders? I know there are a lot of soldiers behind them, but only for a few dozen to come to us. They're quite bold. He spotted a massive warrior. Who is that? He's so big that even the blood-red horse looks small compared to him. Kang So-ah recognized him. Asara. Mo Yin-kang gasped. He thought to himself. Asara. The man who rules over the Great Plains, the Great Hung clan's chief. Asara rode closer. Hey, long time no see, squad leader Kang. I've heard of what he's done, but this is my first time actually seeing him. So this giant man is Asara, the chief of the Great Hung clan. He worried. Isn't he getting too close? What is he trying to do? Asara announced. It's been a while. Your hair has grown quite a bit. Kang So-ah saluted. Gold and jewelry filled the treasure chests. Kang So-ah stated, we intend on going through the Great Plains to the Northern Sea. Asara replied, all right, don't worry about it. Mo Yin-kang thought to himself. It seems like that went smoothly. He asked the uncle, can you understand what they're saying? The uncle responded, well, the Northern Sea and the Great Plains are next to each other. They interact and conflict frequently, so I do know their language. Mo Yin-kang commented, then we'll be able to stop by the Northern Sea Ice Palace without any problem in the Great Plains. But they're talking longer than I expected. Asara pointed and shouted. What are you talking about? Yeagle Sohee looked on in confusion. What? She thought to herself. The Great Hung clan's reaction seems a bit off. She asked the uncle, Sir, if it's all right, could you tell me what they are talking about? He hesitated. I don't know how to explain this. Squad leader Kong asked the Great Hung clan to stop anyone other than the Orthodox Muram Alliance from passing through the Great Plains. Yeagle Sohee reacted in shock. What? The Vice Chief Sora Chu asked. Chief, are you really going to do as that outsider asked? Asara questioned. Why? Are you scared because they're from the Zhonghu? I didn't expect you to react like this, considering how many wars you and I have gone through together. Sora Chu explained. The people of the Zhonghu are dangerous, yes, but you heard the news that the warrior Bu Choi brought us from Zhongyuan. Asara summoned him. Bu Choi, he answered. Yes, great chief. Asara asked. Did you say that the forces who fought for power over Zhongyuan's Zhonghu were the demonic cult and the supreme saber of 6 martial arts sect? Bu Choi confirmed. Yes, they say the leader of the demonic cult is so strong, he is called the demon god. Asara growled. Demon god, what an arrogant title. How could a mere human dare to be called a god? The narrator explains. The Great Hung clan's former chief naturally became interested in martial arts because of his frequent conflicts with those from the Zhonghu and because he invaded Zhongyuan for their territories. And so, he sent people to Zhongyuan's Zhonghu. An invincible army of martial artists was created over 3 long generations, which led to the Great Hung clan taking over the Great Plains. Sora Chu asked, Didn't you say that this demon god is the only dangerous individual? Kong So-ah himself said that the demonic cult leader probably won't appear here anyway. That's true, but don't worry about it. We won't get into a dispute with them either way. Sora Chu inquired, Do you have a plan in mind? Asara smirked. They asked me not to let other martial artists pass through. There are 50,000 brave soldiers from the Great Hung clan right here. Even if they are martial artists, who would dare to start a fight with us? If our soldiers were to fire their arrows, the sky would turn black. Do you really think they'll have the audacity to fight us? Sora Chu realized. So you intend to just scare them away? Asara agreed. Yes, exactly. As long as we don't get into a direct strife with them. I don't assume their so-called demon lord would come all the way here to fight us. Sora Chu laughed. I wouldn't expect any less from you. If things go according to your plan, our tribe will earn 3,000 sheep, as Kong So-ah promised, without taking any damages. Asara added, You know what they say. 2 birds with 1 stone. A scout reported, Great Chief, there is an armed force of about 600 heading this way from the southwest, about 8 kilometers away. Asara asked, Is it the other tribes? The scout replied, No, they look like they're from Zhongyuan. Asara thought to himself, Could it be? A large group of riders raced across the landscape. Qian Yo Woon commanded, Stop here, stop. The 6th elder Mong Mu asked, Demon Lord, is there a problem? Yo Woon remained silent. The ground vibrated. Mong Mu shouted, Oh, what? The ground is shaking. Ahead of us. A massive wall of horsemen appeared on the horizon. Danbaek Yun gasped. What? Why are they here? Even if they're savages, unless it's a war between tribes for land, they don't go around with their entire military. Hyobong thought to himself. Phew. The Northern Sea's young leader sure is inexperienced. Did he not expect something like this at all? Asara observed. You got here in a day, well, that means less time wasted for us. Sora Chu commented, What a coincidence. If they had gotten here before the Orthodox Muram Alliance, they would have been allowed to pass with the appropriate amount of payment. Asara laughed. They sure are unfortunate. We better send them back to where they came from. Bu Choi, he answered. Yes, great chief. Asara ordered. Tell them that they cannot pass and that they should return to Zhongyuan. Tell them that if they do not turn back, they will lose their lives to the blades of our great warriors. Bu Choi rode forward and yelled. Listen, he shouted. People of Zhongyuan, we are the Great Hung clan, the great warriors of the great chief Asara. I am Bu Choi, and I serve our great ruler, the great chief Asara. This is our land. This is no place for outsiders to freely roam. He warned. Turn back to where you came from. This is your only warning. If you do not turn back now, you will lose your lives to the blades of our great warriors. The army cheered loudly. Danbaek Yun panicked. The Great Hung clan is the clan that rules over the Great Plains. They're extremely dangerous. Yo Woon stared ahead. Mong Mu noted, There are way too many of them for us to fight head-on, Demon Lord. He's right. We're going to lose quite a large number of people if we fight them. Their forces are more than 100 times larger than ours. It would only be a waste of energy and personnel to fight here. He asked internally, Nano, can you analyze their language? The system responded, It is close to Mongolian. I can translate it. Yo Woon commanded. Translate it. Transferring Mongolian Cyrillic to the user's brain. The soldiers shouted, "Screw off, outsiders. Run away before we make skewers out of you." Yo Woon thought to himself. They're just saying anything because they think we won't understand. Rather than to fight, it seems they just don't want us to pass. Hyobong asked. Demon Lord. Yo Woon amplified his voice. Listen, Great Hung Clan. Bu Choi reacted. Whoa, how is his voice so loud? It feels like my ears are gonna burst. Danbaek Yun wondered. Oh, what? How does he know their language? Hyobong watched in silence. Yo Woon announced. I am the head of the Great Heavenly Demon Divine Cult. My name is Cheon Yo Woon. Bu Choi stuttered. Cheon Yo Woon. It's the demon god? Asara roared in fury. Oh, what the hell is this about? Kong So-ah said that he wouldn't be coming. Yo Woon continued his announcement. I am well aware that this is the Great Hung Clan's land. I have prepared a tribute to show our respect. We are not here to wage war against you all, so I would like to avoid conflict. Asara thought to himself. Kong So-ah. Did that outsider lie to me? Military Captain Okuro shouted. Great Chief, I think he's lying. He added, I agree. Why would the demonic cult's leader come all the way here when he holds all the power in Zhongyuan? Vice Chief Sora Chu suggested. Great Chief, I think you better make your choices here wisely. He's not aware of our knowledge of the demon god. But for him to have revealed his identity anyway, it's highly likely that he is not lying. Asara muttered to himself. But he knows our language. He's very good at it, too. Perhaps the other tribes are helping them out. Sora Chu reacted with shock. He thought to himself, that's a possibility as well. It's suspicious for the demonic cult leader to know our language. Okuro stepped forward and shouted. Great Chief, why do you hesitate? Please give me command over the warriors. Regardless of whether they are warriors of the Zhonghu or whatever, I will turn them all into food for the crows. Asara thought to himself, there are only 600 of them. There is no reason for us to be afraid. They may be martial artists, but that doesn't mean they have infinite internal energy and stamina. The problem is the rumors I've heard about the demon god. Sora Chu asked. Great Chief, they requested that we let them pass. It's not even a war between tribes. Is there a need to fight? Okuro snapped at him. Vice Chief, since when has the Great Hung Clan been afraid of their enemy? Bu Choi shouted desperately. Gee, Great Chief, did you just hear that? He has to be the demon god. The internal energy in his voice is unbelievable. I cannot fathom just how much internal energy he has. Asara thought to himself. Could he really be the demon god? If the rumors are true, then we might suffer great damages, even if we hold the numerical advantage. Okuro complained. You're frustrating me, Great Chief. How great is this martial arts stuff for you to be this afraid? Do you really believe everything Bu Choi said? Asara remained silent. Okuro continued. Rumors are always exaggerated. Even more so if the rumors are about outsiders. Give me command over 3,000 warriors. I will kill them all. The surrounding warriors shouted. We agree. We cannot fall back just because of some senseless rumors. Asara thought to himself. These guys must have been dissatisfied that the squads that learned martial arts have always been on the front lines. Asara asked. Sora Chu, are the forces that we took from the Yada clan in the back lines? Sora Chu confirmed. Yes, sir. Asara commanded. Captain Okuro, I will give you command over 2,000 Yada warriors and 3 captains. If you are so confident you can win, then show me that this confidence of yours is not misplaced. Okuro declared. I will not disappoint you, Great Chief. He shouted. Charge. Asara thought to himself. If he really is the demon god, this should prove it. Danbaek Yun trembled in fear. I think we failed to convince them. Oh, what do we do? Though we're from the Zhonghu, the difference in numbers is too large. Will we even be able to reach the Northern Sea Ice Palace? We are not afraid. We will attack right away if you will just give us the order. Yo Woon told them calmly. Just wait a bit. We may have failed to convince them, but there is something I want to try. His subordinates replied. Yes, sir. Moon Ku wondered. What is he trying to do? Okuro shouted as he rode. Demon god? Those are just some stupid rumors. I'll send you to hell with our arrows. He commanded. Ready. Fire. A massive volley of arrows filled the sky. Okuro reacted in shock. He gasped. What? Teach the arrows. Stopped. The arrows hovered motionless in the air. Okuro shouted. Teach the arrows. Stopped. Yo Woon gestured with his hand and the arrows spun around. Okuro screamed. Oh, open ranks. The arrows struck the charging warriors. One warrior cried out. Qua. Okuro shouted. Run. He cried out. What the hell? He realized in terror. He really is the demon god? Asara watched in silence. He asked in disbelief. What just happened? Why did the 2,000 soldiers suddenly split off? Danbaek Yun thought to himself. The demonic cult leader is said to fly through the heavens and make thunder strike from the heavens. The rumors weren't exaggerated. He really is the demon god himself. Sora Chu pleaded. Great chief, if he really is the demon god, we must not fight him no matter what. We must let them pass. I agree, Asara shouted. Bu Choi. Go tell them right away that we wish to avoid conflict. Bu Choi. Asara turned around. Why are you spacing OU? Cheon Yo Woon appeared right beside them. He remarked. Oh ho. So you're the vice chief. Sora Chu thought to himself. I was watching him this whole time, yet I lost sight of him on his way here. I'm sure this monster can kill us whenever he wants if he so much as wishes for it. He shouted. Protect the great chief. Yo Woon cleared his throat. Phew, my throat hurts. He reached his hand out as blue energy surged. He smiled. Much better. The narrator explains. Great Chief Asara of the Great Hung Clan was a man with a natural-born bloodline and might. He led the Great Hung Clan and experienced countless battles, united countless tribes, and rose to his current position of Great Chief. He who became the supreme of the Great Plains, which is bigger than Zhang Yuan, was dangerous enough that even Zhang Yuan's Orthodox Muram alliance could not treat him recklessly. He feared nothing as he had a force great enough to threaten Zhang Yuan itself. Or at least that was the case before he met the demon god Cheon Yo-un. It was a fascinating sight. One swing of his hand killed 2,000 soldiers. Being pressed to the ground with his horse by an unidentifiable power to the point where he was forced to crawl was a foreign experience to him. It was a fear that Asara, the great chief of the Great Hung Clan, had never experienced before. Okuro yelled, Protect the great chief. Yo Woon thought to himself. So he really is the chief. Asara pleaded, Demon God, I wish to have a conversation with you. Yo Woon looked down at him. Demon God. The warriors shouted, Stop, if you come any closer, I'll. Yo Woon commanded coldly, Move. The crowd was blown away. He stepped closer to the chief. Asara thought to himself, how can I be feeling such intense pressure from a man who is much smaller and younger than me, the great chief? Yo Woon asked, Who instigated you? Asara reacted in shock. He thought to himself, how did he know? Could he truly be a god? Asara spoke, Oh, our goal was just to scare the others and then return to the Great Plains. We didn't actually wish to fight. Yo Woon thought to himself. I asked him because I was suspicious that he knew my nickname, but there really was a mastermind behind all of this? He commanded, Speak clearly. Asara revealed, It was Kong So-ah, the second son of the Orthodox Muram Alliance head. Yo Woon questioned, The Orthodox Muram Alliance? Asara thought to himself, Since we've been fooled by Kong So-ah as well, there's no need to be loyal to him and keep this secret. Since this happened because of him, he should also suffer. Asara explained, Before you arrived, they came first. In exchange for 3,000 sheep, they asked us to block any forces going to the Northern Sea besides theirs. We simply wanted to scare you. We didn't want to harm you at all. If that bastard Kong So-ah hadn't lied and said you wouldn't be coming, we never would have encountered each other. Yo Woon remained silent. Asara added, I'm pissed off as it's because of that bastard that this happened. If it weren't for him, 2,000 of my warriors wouldn't have lost their lives for nothing. We'll make way immediately. You must be busy, so please, hurry. Yo Woon chuckled. Ha. Asara thought to himself. Good. I succeeded in negotiating with him. It'd be perfect if he just went by and killed Kong So-ah too. Asara spoke. Thank you for understanding. It was great to have the opportunity to know that the demon god, the hero of the great play. Asara reacted in confusion. Huh? His arm was suddenly severed. Asara screamed. My AAARM. Sora Chu yelled. Great chief. Why? Yo Woon explained. You may be trying to get everything over with quickly, but doing that doesn't change the fact that you attacked us first. Asara groaned. Kua. If that's. Yo Woon grabbed his head. You act as if you wouldn't have attacked us if I weren't here. Yet you blame everything on Kong So-ah. Asara pleaded. Please don't do this. Without him, we definitely wouldn't have blocked you. Yo Woon stated. Yes, that's true. The reason your chief lost his 2 arms is all because of the Orthodox Muram Alliance's Kong So-ah. Do you understand? Sora Chu asked in horror. 2 arms? Yo Woon commanded. Make sure to direct all of your hatred toward Kong So-ah. Asara screamed. Wait, demon god. Wait. Kua. The sound echoed across the plains. Yeagle So-hee looked back. Moying Kong asked. Patriarch Moying, did you hear a scream just now? Kong So-ah thought to himself. Could it be? No, there's no way. That's impossible, the narrator explains. The region beyond the Great Wall, which is more north than the Great Plains, is commonly considered an area with snowstorms all year round, but in reality, it consists of dense coniferous forests, mountains, and meadows. There is a great lake there called Lake Baikal, which is bigger than all of Zhongyuan's lakes. The Holy Sea, the blue eyes of the cold land, the Northern Sea's sanctuary. It goes by many names as what lies within it is a great island. The island is so vast, it's hard to consider it a simple island. With small mountains and fields, there is a great fortress-like palace between the island's southeast mountain peaks. The place has such a luxurious appearance, people compare it to the Muram Alliance's headquarters. That is the Northern Sea Ice Palace. Northwest of the Northern Sea Ice Palace sealed Turtle Island. Inside a deep cavern, warriors gathered around a glowing seal. Second Elder O Mubang shouted. Endure it for a bit longer. The next group will be here soon. Keep on inserting cold chi into the ice stone until then. He thought to himself. Is what I said, but even I'm about to be exhausted from doing this for 6 hours. Still, even though we've been continuously inserting cold chi into the ice stone, the crack is getting bigger. If we relax for even a second, the monster underneath this agile area will break it and come out. Is any more of this too much? After being freed from the seal, the strength and spiritual power of the dragon turtle has been getting stronger, while we're getting weaker. Fifth Elder Sol Yizhang arrived. Second Elder, we're here to change shifts. He continued. I'm sorry that you have to do this even though you have just recovered your inner chi through chi circulation. But I don't think we can last any longer. I felt it while coming here. The vibrations have gotten strong enough that we can feel it at the palace. Oh, Mubang groaned. Kook, it might be better to just gather all our forces from the palace and try fighting the dragon turtle. Sol Yizhang encouraged. Endure it for a while more. Once the forces of the Muram Alliance join us, we'll have to fight for our lives against this monster even if we don't want to. Oh, Mubang spat. Ha, those damned foreigners. Sol Yizhang warned. Second Elder, there are a lot of ears listening. Don't be too. Oh, Mubang yelled. Am I wrong? Just how long do we have to keep sacrificing ourselves like this to wait for them to come? A scout shouted. Elders. The troops of the Muram Alliance are here. The narrator explains. Southeast of the Northern Sea Ice Palace dock, First Elder Sol Youngui stated. I can see it, Palace Master. We were reaching our limit, so it's a relief. We'll have to hope that young Master Dan isn't on that ship. Dan Juqian responded. First Elder, watch your mouth when referring to the young master. Although our paths have split, he is still my nephew. I had also once taught him martial arts and the ice-white divine arts. The First Elder responded. I cannot help it even if you are upset by what I've said. It is true that he needs to be gone in order for the remaining palace members to more naturally rally together. It would actually be for the better if the demonic cult killed him. Dan Juqian shouted. First Elder, the Elder continued, you taught him yourself, so you must be well aware as well. If the former palace master didn't insist on having young Master Dan as his successor, this would have never happened. He added, it was the former palace master's mistake for thinking that finding the divine relic would change our situation. Dan Juqian reacted. The Elder asked, Sir, what are you looking at? Dan Juqian stated, I think our prediction was completely off. The Elder asked, Sorry, Dan Juqian commanded, look over there. The Elder gasped. Those are, he observed. I can't see what's written on them, but those black flags, they must be the demonic cult. Yeagle Sohi looked out at the water. Wow, the water is so see-through. What a beautiful lake. I would have felt like I was in Utopia if it weren't for the weather. She thought to herself, Squad Leader Kong, this man never changes. She spoke. Squad Leader Kong, the people didn't get proper rest on the way here, so once we get to the Northern Sea Ice Palace, why don't you ask the proxy of the Palace Master for a day's rest? Unless the situation is very urgent. Kong So-ah replied, I will decide that as the commander. You're not here as the general strategist, so focus on your duties for this mission instead. Yeagle So-he thought, it'd be better to ask Master Moying instead. I don't care that he hates me, but why did we rush to make a 15-day travel in just 10 days? The troops will be too tired. All right, then, do as you wish, he thought to himself. I've had a bad feeling ever since the day we met the Great Hung clan. What's the cause of my anxiety? Yeagle So-he sighed. Phew, getting mad over something so petty, So-he. I have a long way to go. Is it because I haven't gotten much sleep? I better take a nap, a soldier shouted. Oh, over there, Yeagle So-he asked. Huh? What's with the ruckus? And no way, that's impossible, she noted. It sounds like it's coming from the ships farther back, not ours. Moying Kong arrived. Master Moying, something must have happened. We'd better take a look. The soldiers shouted. What's going on? Squad Leader, over there. Someone dashed across the surface of the lake. Moying Kong questioned. See, could it be The duckweed water steps. The narrator explains. The duckweed water steps. It's a Qinggung technique that allows you to run on the surface of water. Although it doesn't require as much skill as the void steps, it still requires a very high level of skill. It is said that martial masters at the evolutionary realm can run on water for a very short period of time. Mo Ying-kong thought to himself. It's already unbelievable that he's crossing such a giant lake, but at each spot he puts his foot on, the water that was disturbed from the ships is calming down. How powerful is his internal energy to make this all possible? Qian Yo Woon landed on the deck. A soldier shouted, Yua, it's an invasion. Mo Ying-kong gasped. See cult leader Qian. Kong So-ah reacted in shock. Cult leader Qian? The demonic cult leader Qian Yo-an? Yo Woon asked, who here is Kong So-ah? Dan Juqian watched from his vessel. There was someone that's skilled in the demonic cult. The first elder asked, what do you mean? Dan Juqian explained, someone just left the ship of the demonic cult and went across half the lake using the duckweed water steps. The elder reacted, how? The water may be calm, but to cross half this vast lake? That's not something even the most powerful master in the Northern Sea can do. So just how did he do it? Dan Juqian thought, could it be, has the demonic South Master Qian Yu Zhang, one of the 5 great martial artists, come here himself? Mo Ying-kong spoke, Dij the cult leader. He doesn't look a day over 20, you might not know, but he is indeed the demonic cult leader. Dan Juqian wondered, then does that mean that Dan Baek-yun actually managed to convince them? But how? Mo Ying-kong thought to himself. This isn't good. They must have come across the Great Hung clan. Yeagle so he thought, I knew I should have stopped squad leader Kong when he was scheming with the Great Hung clan. I was unable to keep calm due to what they did to Yi and Buso. I should have been more careful, Mo Ying-kong asked. What should we do, squad leader? Yo Woon approached. You must be him. Mo Ying-kong thought to himself. General strategist Yeagle, squad leader Kong might be in danger if we don't do something. Yeagle so he asked. Sorry, Mo Ying-kong warned. You might not know this, but cult leader Qian does not spare those who bare their fangs at him. He killed the Namgung Patriarch without batting an eye in front of the Muram Alliance head and the masters. He could very well kill squad leader Kong right now. Yeagle So-hee moved forward. She thought, I'll try to distract him, then. She spoke, it's been a while, cult leader Qian. I'm Yeagle So-hee, the general strategist of the Muram Alliance. Yo Woon commanded, move. Mo Ying-kong thought, how can he be so cold to a woman who is considered one of the top 3 most beautiful women of the Jianghu? Does he not care for women? Yeagle So-hee asked. Cult leader Qian, what brings you to us all of a sudden? Yo Woon asked, are you playing dumb on purpose? She reacted with a start. He knows what we've done. Yeagle So-hee thought to herself. Him coming here across the lake means that he's ready to fight. What should I do? How do I get us out of this situation? Kong So-ah said, he's my guest. Please move. Yeagle So-hee protested. But squad leader Kong. Kong So-ah ordered. Stop getting in our way. Yeagle So-hee thought, this isn't the place for him to fight for his pride. His opponent is possibly the strongest man in the Jianghu. No one here would make it out alive if he wanted to do so. Kong So-ah thought to himself, so this man is the demonic cult leader, Qian Yo-an. His aura is intimidating. If I eliminate him, I'm sure to rise above the status of the Muram Alliance head. However, I will not make the same mistake as Yi and Buso. I am ready to do whatever it takes to get what I want, demonic cult leader. He announced, I am Kong So-ah, the squad leader of the Muram Alliance's Black Shadow Squad. If your rage is the result of your encounter with the Great Hung clan, then I have no excuse. I asked him to stop anyone who tries to come after us. Mo Ying-kong thought, yes, that might be the better way to go about this. It may be humiliating, but it's best not to provoke the demonic cult leader. Now the question is how he will react. Yo Woon noted, you have no excuse? Then you better pay the price. Kong So-ah reacted in terror. He thought, shit. Yeagle So-hee shouted, cult leader Qian, we're allies. Are you trying to harm a leader of an envoy group from your allied organization without listening to his explanation? Yo Woon asked, is it necessary to listen to an explanation when this ally of mine tried to harm me first? Yeagle So-hee stammered, that is. Yo Woon declared, that's enough time wasted. He launched an attack and was blocked. He remarked, you blocked that? Squad leader Kong was deployed to help the Northern Sea Ice Palace. I cannot let harm come his way. Did you think I would only have fear for you because you're called the demon god? He shouted, Hua! Yo Woon sighed, this is annoying. He delivered a powerful strike that sent waves through the air. He warned, nobody better get in my way. I will no longer show mercy. The soldiers panicked. Stop him. Kill us first if you wish to harm the squad leader. Kang So-ah shouted. Back off, all of you. He screamed in pain as his wrist was severed. He groaned. Keuheuk. A soldier cried out. A squad leader? Kang So-ah panted. Ha! I am aware that this won't calm your anger. But we are here to help the Northern Sea Ice Palace. He groaned. Kook. Please. Give us time until we take care of that situation. If you still wish to make me pay for my crimes, then I shall pay that price. Yeagle So-hee thought to herself. Squad leader Kang cut off his own wrist before cult leader Cheon could do anything. I know he did that knowing full well he would get hurt, but it's way too rash of a plan. Kang So-ah thought to himself. He was going for my shoulder from the start. If the rumors that he only takes an arm of the people he does not intend to kill are true, then he didn't mean to kill me. Losing my left hand to get us out of this situation is better than losing my whole arm. He should stop here if he has any honor as the head of one of the 3 most powerful organizations of the Zhonghu. It'll only be humiliating for him if he continues to fight me while everyone's watching. He sighed. Phew, I've never been in this kind of situation before. Yo Woon commented. I meant to take your arm, but you saw it coming and took your own hand instead. Mo Yin-kung thought to himself. Looks like squad leader Kang's plan worked. Perhaps we'll be able to avoid a fight. He's more terrifying than Yi and Buso. Perhaps the only one who can do something about the demonic cult leader at the moment is squad leader Kang with his patience and cleverness. Yeagle So-hee remained silent. Kang So-ah bowed. I thank you for your mercy. He thought to himself. I'll pay you back for this humiliation. I have to hope that the records about the dragon turtle's core and blood are true. I once read in an ancient text about mythical creatures that if you drink the blood or consume the core of a mythical creature, you'll gain the ability to even regenerate lost limbs. If I am able to consume the core of the 4-headed dragon turtle, I might be able to amplify my chi enough to be on equal standing with the 5 great martial artists. There is a saying that it's never too late for revenge. I am willing to endure this humiliation if it means I can eradicate the demonic cult and the unorthodox alliance in the future. Yo Woon asked, what would you do if someone plotting his revenge tries to escape your grasp? Kang So-ah questioned in confusion. Sorry? Yo Woon stated, I was originally planning to let you go after only taking an arm of yours, but having seen your determination and how clever you are, I have changed my mind. Kang So-ah gasped. Shit. Yo Woon grabbed him. Yeagle So-hee and Mo Yin-kung watched in horror. Yo Woon drove his blade through him. Kang So-ah groaned. Yo Woon commanded. Die. He tossed the body aside. The alliance members screamed. A squad leader Kang. A soldier yelled. You. How dare you? Mo Yin-kung ordered. Everyone, stop. He asked aloud. Did you have to do this, cult leader Cheon? Am I being generous enough on my end already? He stated. Kang So-ah alone took responsibility when you are all responsible for letting him tell the great Hung clan to attack us. Yeagle So-hee thought to herself. He's telling us to not question him anymore since he no longer plans to blame us for what happened with the great Hung clan. Yo Woon announced. This problem has now been dealt with. If you have anything more to say, come see me after our matters with the Northern Sea Ice Palace are finished. He smiled. If you want revenge, you'll have to be willing to give your life up for it. He dashed away across the water. Mo Yin-kung gripped the fallen body, squad leader Kang. No, the young master who had dreamed of a blue heaven couldn't even close his eyes in your last moments. He thought to himself, I'll continue on your will. For the day the demonic cult and the unorthodox alliance have been bled dry and the heavens are clear and blue. The narrator explains. Northern Sea Ice Palace. Inside the palace master's office. The first elder reported, there's a problem. News that the successor has brought the demonic cult leader and other demonic martial artists with him is spreading fast. Dan Juqian responded, they haven't even been here a while. He thought to himself, thanks to that, no one is talking about the fact that we successfully gained the help of the Orthodox Muram Alliance. At this rate, our plans to turn the elders and the direct affiliate squad of the palace master might all have been for nothing. He remained silent. He thought to himself, I can't tell the demonic cult leader to leave since we never officially requested for his help in the first place. In addition, the dragon turtle is still alive. We can't make an enemy out of the demonic cult right now. Should we have just tried to take care of our issue by ourselves? No, a dragon turtle with 4 heads isn't a monster the Northern Sea Ice Palace can handle by itself. I can't risk such an important matter just to become the palace master. It's better to be on the safe side than to sacrifice the higher-ups and others who supported me. It's only temporary, he spoke. I'm sure this is not enough to turn the tables in his favor. The first elder added, but the elders are also paying attention to him because of the demonic cult leader. Dan Juqian reacted. He crushed the armrest of his chair. He thought to himself, those damn old geezers. They're so damn nosy. They've been like that ever since I competed with the dead Palace Master for the Palace Master position. He remained silent. The first elder thought to himself. This should be enough to make you think of the successor as a dangerous rival. I can't have you getting all soft and weak when you've decided to walk the path of a tyrant. Pitying others may eventually come back to bite you in the ass. The successor may be your nephew and disciple, but removing any obstacles that lay in your path is the way of a tyrant. Well, seeing their reactions, I don't think we'll be getting rid of him anytime soon. The first elder shouted. How dare you? Hyobong asked. Where will we be sleeping? A northern sea guard explained. Only the higher-ups of the Murum Alliance and the demonic cult are being shown to the important guest rooms within the palace. There are tents being set up to the west of the palace. Dan Juqian observed. There are more than 1,000 people combined, he thought to himself. So once the dragon turtle issue is resolved, we're gonna have to expand the palace to be able to accommodate more guests. The first elder thought to himself. We're embarrassing, Dan Juqian stated. I'll take care of that issue. The first elder remarked. We'll have to hope that nothing will happen tonight. They'll need at least a day's rest after the long journey they had. Dan Juqian thought to himself. I don't even know if they'll be able to rest properly. The vibrations that began in Sealed Turtle Island are shaking the palace up now. The frequency of the vibrations is getting worse. Everyone is working to try and seal away the dragon turtle, so why do I feel so anxious? Hyobong cried out as he stumbled. Samachok laughed. Ha, you're still the same despite your improvement in martial arts. Hyobong complained. Ugh, it's more strange not to be surprised when the whole building is shaking. Isn't that right, Moon-gyu? Moon-gyu giggled while holding on to Cheon-yo-woon. He, I'm fine, I have a support beam right here. Hyobong responded. Yeah, whatever. Chai Taek-gyom laughed. Ha, what's with that face? Yo-woon sighed. Ha, he thought to himself. Walking around with the Six Swords Troop reminds me of our Demonic Arts Academy days. So much has happened since then. Those were the good days, looking back. I miss them. Oh Young stated confidently. Don't worry. Our palace is built with Duan stone, so it won't fall from vibrations like this. The narrator explains. He was Oh Young, the Northern Sea Ice Palace Frost Sword Squad vice leader. Hyobong asked. So if the vibrations get stronger, it might fall? Oh Young admitted. I'm not sure. It's been fine until now though. Hyobong pointed. Ah, over there. There are cracks on the wall. That's more than enough. You're being so rude. You're acting like you're in your own house. Hyobong muttered. Yue. Oh Young laughed nervously. Haha. He thought to himself. This is interesting. I heard the people of the demonic cult were colder and more hostile, but they're just ordinary people. Yo-woon placed his hand on the wall. He asked internally. Nano, how's the condition of the building? The system responded. Scanning. Having scanned the cracks on the wall, I can confirm that they were only created recently. Seeing as the damages are quickly worsening, the building will not, Hyobong screamed. The ground shook violently. Oh Young gasped. What was that? The vibrations have never been this strong until now. I don't recall them occurring this frequently either. Moon-gyu asked. Are you sure this is okay? Oh Young insisted. The shaking is a bit intense, but the ceiling shouldn't suddenly fall on us or anything since this place is made of Duan Santo. The ceiling began to crumble. Hyobong yelled. Moon-gyu questioned. Are you sure? Oh Young realized. I think it'd be best to leave the building. I must report this to the Palace Master's proxy. Please follow me. The floor began to split. Hyobong panicked. The ground is collapsing? Yo-woon stomped his foot and released a blast of energy. Oh Young thought to himself. I can't believe it. The cracks have been frozen over? How can he possess such extreme yin energy? For him to be able to freeze the ground over, he would need to have mastered the ice-white divine arts. Debris fell from above. Hyobong shouted. Whoa! The ceiling is falling in. Oh Young groaned. Kook, damn it. He reacted in confusion. What? The falling stones stopped in midair. Hyobong struggled. Kook. I knew it. My instincts are never false alarms. Kook. The debris is hard to hold up because it's made of Duan stone. It would have fallen right away if it weren't for Elder Mong, Hyobong, and the head guardian using void capture all at the same time. Hyobong called out. This is too heavy. I think you should leave first. Samachok agreed. He's right, Demon Lord. Demon Lord, Moon-gyu, Samachok, Chai Taek-gyom. Please, hurry, Yo-woon asked. Since this building is going to fall anyway, it shouldn't matter if I destroy it, right? Oh Young questioned. Sorry, Yo-woon commanded. Hold on just for a while more. Hyobong responded. Why yes, sir. Oh Young wondered. What is with this yin energy? It's all coming together in the air. Yo-woon commanded internally. Nano, activate self-targeting system. Destroy it all. The system replied. Activating self-targeting system. Target lock, on. Yo Woon pointed his fingers upward and shattered the falling debris. A guard outside yelled, "Aye, it's an earthquake! Get out of here! Hurry!" The palace buildings began to collapse. Dan Juqian panted as he escaped. Ugh, how could this be? It's a good thing we were on the top floor. Had we been anywhere else, escaping would have been difficult. Ah, I had just managed to take over the position I deserved. For this to happen right after is... An explosion of ice energy burst through the roof. Oh, Young muttered. Goodness, is he even human? Dan Juqian gasped. Ah, I had just managed to take over the position I deserved. For this to happen right after is... People screamed for help. Help! Help! Dan Juqian thought to himself. I need to make sure the pillars stay up. Ice White Divine Realm, he yelled to the crowd. Get out of here, he commanded. Those who can, freeze parts of the building that are the most unstable to help others escape. Elder Soul, find the important guests of the envoy team. Oh Young reacted in shock. Ah, Qian Yo Woon remained calm amidst the debris. Yo Woon asked, are you all okay? Sama Chok and the others responded. Yes, Demon Lord. Hyobong remained silent. Oh Young thought to himself. He really just disintegrated the ceiling. I witnessed it with my own 2 eyes, but I still can't believe it. People coughed. Cough. Cough. Mo Yingkong panted. Ha. Ha. That could have been really bad. Yeagle So he added, we would have been squished underneath if the ceiling wasn't frozen over. They must have been right below our floor. Hyobong smirked. The Demon Lord basically saved you guys, so you better be grateful. The first elder called out. You're all right. I'm so glad. Yeagle So he asked, what happened? Mo Yingkong noted, I thought the cave with the dragon turtle was quite far from here. If these vibrations are from the dragon turtle trying to escape, it feels more like it's right underneath us. The first elder explained, I'm taken aback because of how sudden this all is. If the dragon turtle had gotten out, I'm sure people would have repo. He stopped suddenly. No, wait. Yeagle So he questioned. The first elder yelled in realization. Was the seal undone? The narrator explains. North of the Northern Sea Ice Palace sealed Turtle Mountain. The fifth elder noticed something. Something is wrong, he thought to himself. I don't feel any vibration from underneath the ice stone. It's as if nothing is below us. The dragon turtle had only gotten stronger from the centuries of confinement. There's no way it died from exhaustion, could it be? He stood up. I need to go up for a moment. He dashed away. Please tell me that my hunch is wrong. He stopped at the edge of a cliff. I can't believe it, and no, that way is. He looked toward the palace as it continued to collapse. A guard shouted, something is headed this way. The ground exploded with immense force. Dan Juqian watched with a grim expression. Yeagle So he looked on in horror. Yo Woon observed the scene. A massive, dragon-like head emerged from the ground. It roared loudly. A guard yelled, Whoa! What? A woman screamed. Kaya! The fifth elder gasped. Damn it! The dragon turtle has emerged. From underground. The first elder realized. You're telling me that instead of trying to destroy the ice stone sealing it, it dug all the way here. The reason the vibrations were getting stronger wasn't only because its power had increased, but because it was actually getting closer to us. Dan Juqian roared in fury. You! How dare you! Destroy the ice palace. He lunged forward. I'll kill you. Dan Juqian reacted with shock. He thought to himself. I can't believe it. My snowfield sword can't even pierce through its scales? The beast unleashed lightning. Dan Juqian groaned. Kook! Ice white space. He thought to himself. I need to defend myself. Lightning struck the palace grounds. The warriors screamed. Help! The beast roared again. Mo Yingkong stated. This is the lightning energy of the dragon turtle that I have heard about in the legends passed down the Mo Ying clan. Yeagle So he commanded. We need to get the rest of the group that are in the eastern part of the palace together and work with the Northern Sea Ice Palace to fight it. Dan Juqian coughed. Cough. Cough. He spoke weakly. I see why it's called a calamity now. He thought to himself. Kook, if I hadn't blocked that attack in time, I'm sure I would be ashes by now. Its lightning powers are ridiculously strong, and its body is basically invincible. Even my enhanced sword aura doesn't work on it despite being at the mystic realm. Is it possible to defeat that thing? But I can't back off now. All right, in this battle, I will risk both my life and the Northern Sea Ice Palace's fortunes. Yo Woon watched him. Hyobong shouted. Whoa! Did you see that, Demon Lord? That lightning was... Yo Woon interrupted. Listen up, Six Swords Troop. The moment we reach the camping area, you will carry out the orders I gave you earlier. His subordinates replied. Yes, sir. Dan Juqian commanded loudly. Elders, squad leaders, find the other members of the palace. Mo Ying-yu thought to himself. So that's the dragon turtle. Mo Ying-kong shouted. You! Mo Ying-yu responded. Father. The ground continued to shake as buildings crumbled. Mo Ying-yu questioned. Is this another head? Yeagle Sohee thought to herself. Why are there only 2? I was told that it has 4 heads, so where are the other 2? Dan Juqian warned. This energy. Everyone, back off. The beast unleashed a massive wave of electricity. Mo Ying-kong asked. It's using lightning, he thought to himself. Almost 80 people died with just that one attack. Mo Ying-kong asked. General Strategist Yeagle, are you alright? Yeagle Sohee replied. I think it's best you fall back. Mo Ying-kong questioned. General Strategist Yeagle? Yeagle Sohee shouted. We need to go. Now, Mo Ying-kong asked. Wait, go where? Yeagle Sohee explained. To where the demonic cult is. We need to let them know, too. Mo Ying-kong wondered. Let them know of what? Yeagle Sohee explained. If my assumption is correct, the dragon turtle is trying to take us down one by one. Mo Ying-kong asked. What? Yeagle Sohee continued. The first head only appeared so it can observe the situation. The second head's appearance wasn't a coincidence. I assume the third head is, she gasped as another explosion occurred in the distance. She yelled. I was right. It's headed to where the demonic cult is. Patriarch Mo Ying. We need to let them know that they need to distance themselves from the dragon turtle. Mo Ying-kong thought to himself. I don't really want to help the demonic cult, but if they were to lose their forces too, it would be even harder for us to take the dragon turtle down. I guess I have no choice, Mo Ying-kong shouted. You! Mo Ying-yu answered. Yes, father, Mo Ying-kong commanded. Go tell the demonic cult's people that they need to distance themselves from the dragon turtle. Hurry, Mo Ying-yu replied. Right away. Mo Ying-kong ordered his men. The rest of you, get away from the dragon turtle and prepare the fire arrows. The soldiers shouted. Yes, sir. Mo Ying-kong thought to himself. The records tell us to use fire arrows. I wonder if they would really do anything against that behemoth. Mo Ying-yu hurried through the ruins and thought to himself. Damn it, it's already gotten so far. I'm too late. I can't get ahead of it. He panted heavily. It's the dragon turtle. It's the dragon turtle. Open ranks. Mo Ying-yu yelled. No, it's too close to us. We might all die if it attacks us using lightning. Get away right now. We need to be as far from that monster as possible. Now, the dragon turtle unleashed a massive burst of green lightning. Mo Ying-yu thought to himself. I can't believe it. All of the demonic cult's people are fine, but what's with those poles? Wait, is it because those poles absorb the lightning? But even then, what about the lightning that is flowing through the ground? It worked, Samachok yelled. Yoo-woo, it's just as the demon lord said. With the hardened tree sap on our feet, the lightning won't get to us. They were precious trade goods with the palace, too. For him to share it all with us. More than 90% of the lightning on the surface was reduced. Qian Yo-woon sighed. Phew. Lightning rod and rubber. Huh? I was a bit dubious, but it really worked. He thought to himself. It was a good thing I planned with Nano after hearing from Danbaek Yun that the dragon turtle uses lightning chi. Yo-woon addressed the beast. You're the first living mythical creature I've ever seen. I can definitely feel that you are no ordinary creature, but how dare you look down on me? The dragon turtle growled. Yo-woon called out. Elder Mong. Mong Mu responded. Yes, sir, he commanded. Attack. 6 swords troop, manifest your blade aura. The members shouted. Yes, sir. Yo-woon announced. Let's begin. Captains, attack the head. The captains replied. Yes, sir. The dragon turtle roared loudly. As expected, using just sword aura doesn't deal much damage to it. 6 swords troop, Hyo Bong, follow me. The group responded. Yes, sir. We will all go for the dragon turtle's head. The 24 demonic sword techniques final technique, sword sect sword scenery. Hyo Bong yelled. Illusion sword technique ultimate technique, illusory martial sword. The dragon turtle roared loudly. Keep attacking. Destructive axe sect ultimate technique, wind forming axe. Demon fist sect ultimate technique, all piercing fist. Chai Taek-gyeom announced. Warrior dance sect ultimate technique, blooming of 100 flowers. Hu Jinchang shouted. Westgate sect ultimate technique, force of the divine sword. Baek Ji yelled. Pure kick sect ultimate technique, whirlwind kick. Demonic dragon palm sect ultimate technique, unrestrained demonic dragon force. The 6 swords troop unleashed an ultimate rampage. Mo Ying-yu thought to himself. Amazing. Even the dragon turtle shouldn't be able to survive that. The demonic cult should be able to quickly behead the dragon turtle. General Strategist Yeagle and father were worried for no reason. I think our side will be struggling more. I better return, Mo Ying-yu shouted. Get out of the way. Incoming. He thought to himself. What? It's collecting an incredible amount of true energy. Disperse, she yelled. Hyobong, Chai Tek Guillaume. Hyobong thought to himself. Shish shit, Qian Yo Woon thought to himself. Damn it. Mo Yingyu gasped. I can't believe it, an elder shouted. And no way, another guard said. The entire mountain is gone. Only ashes remain from where the ray passed through, he thought to himself. That wasn't something you could stop with reflective energy. Hyobong, Moon Gyu asked. How? Hyobong cheered. I'm still alive. Moon Gyu cried out. Ah, Hyobong spoke happily. Goodness, I thought you died. I thought I was gonna die too. He thought to himself. I thought I was dead when I started floating, Chai Tek Guillaume said. Thank you for saving me, Demon Lord. Yo Woon remained silent. The beast moved. Mo Yingyu shouted. Oh, that bastard's doing it again. A warrior groaned. Ugh. Put all of your weapons down and get down on the ground. The group replied. Yes, sir. Yo Woon conjured a massive ice sword. A cult member cheered. The Demon Lord stopped it. Whoa, get down. Don't get up yet, Yo Woon thought to himself. So that much won't do. The dragon turtle roared. Huh. How long is it gonna do that? It's continuing with the attacks unlike before. Yo Woon thought to himself. The lightning rods cannot endure any more than this. I wanted to eliminate the dragon turtle through good tactics without pushing ourselves too much, but it seems I've underestimated it. We're all gonna be electrocuted at this rate. The lightning attack's range is too wide to use the formless sword, too. He asked internally. Nano, is there no other way to deal with this lightning? Nano explained. If the heat energy is high, the rate at which the atoms vibrate will increase, interfering with the movement of the electrons. If there is a lot of heat, the lightning's flow will be decreased. However, it might be dangerous, as the monster's lightning is far too powerful. Yo Woon thought to himself. Phew, I need to do it even if it might be dangerous. Demon Lord, Yo Woon ordered, get away from me. Sorry, the warriors screamed. Yuwa, Hyobong gasped. Be black flames? It's on a different level than what Hyobong showed before. Hyobong added, of course. It's the Demon Lord we're talking about here. Yo Woon thought to himself. I definitely feel less affected by the lightning with this. It does tingle a bit, but it's tolerable. The beast roared again. Hyobong pointed. Ah, the lightning rods are melting. Yin Moa warned. The lightning rods are melting. Watch out, the warriors screamed. Kook, Yo Woon thought to himself. It's detected the energy of another mythical creature from me and is using stronger lightning. All my subordinates might die if I don't hurry. Yo Woon declared. Let's end this once and for all, Dragon Turtle. The cult member cheered. Oh, the Demon Lord is. Another shouted. He's going to take down the Dragon Turtle. Yo Woon thought to himself. Damn it, he realized. It baited me by pretending to have fallen for my skill. It's smarter than I anticipated. He shouted. As if I'd let you. He struggled against the massive pressure of the beast. The subordinates yelled. Demon Lord. A guard stuttered. Ah. Another gasped. I can't believe it. We should have stopped him no matter what. Moon Gyu whispered. Demon Lord. The crowd reacted with shock. They shouted in excitement. Whoa, a follower asked. Demon Lord? Another shouted. He's alive. Hyobong pointed. Look at his black flames. They're much more powerful than earlier. Yo Woon remained silent. He wondered to himself. What happened? I thought that was going to be a critical injury. 400% energy charged. Yo Woon asked. What? Figuring out the cause requires an analysis, but the electricity was weakened by the heat and absorbed by the user as an energy source. Yo Woon smiled. I see. Then I won't need to worry about the lightning. A giant snowflake symbol appeared as the palace masters attacked. Dan Juqian commanded. Now, he used the Ice White Divine Palm 5th technique. He called the move, Ice Heaven White Flow. The dragon turtle growled. Dan Juqian warned. It looks like we've just angered it even more. Prepare the ice white space. Hold on, everyone, the guards replied. Why yes, sir. Dan Juqian struggled to stay standing. He thought to himself. If we use the ice white space as our defense, we can withstand it, but, damn it. There's no point in that. There are only a sixth of us remaining out of the 1,000. We need a way to kill this thing, not just to withstand it. But how are we supposed to get through its scales and tear its flesh off? Yeagle Sohee called out. Once again, substitute palace master. Dan Juqian asked, General Strategist Yeagle? She stated, there's something I must inform you of. The dragon turtle is weak too, Dan Juqian asked. What? Mo Yingkong shouted. Fire. Mo Yingkong thought to himself. Thank you, dear ancestors. I thought the fire arrows were ineffective because they couldn't get through its scales, but it's weakened the dragon turtle's lightning attacks. He ordered his men. Keep firing. The dragon turtle roared. A soldier yelled. Patriarch Mo Ying, the arrows. Mo Ying Kong muttered. Finally, Huangbo Nung observed. But we've sacrificed too much. There are only half of our forces remaining, he added. We don't have that many arrows either. We're gonna have to pick up the usable arrows that fell onto the ground. Mo Ying Kong replied. Then we better put an end to this. Huangbo Nung asked. Patriarch Mo Ying? Are you? Mo Ying Kong said. Patriarch Huangbo, it's a bit rash, but will you fight with me? I'm going to cut its head off before we're out of arrows. Huangbo Nung reacted with shock. He thought to himself, its lightning attacks may have gotten weaker, but getting close to it is reckless. He answered, all right, then Mo Ying Kong stated. Then we'd better be quick. The soldiers watched them prepare. Patriarchs, Mo Ying Kong commanded. We need to put an end to this before the fire goes out. Let's go, Huangbo Nung shouted. All right, Mo Ying Kong yelled. Fire, cover the patriarchs. Mo Ying Kong reacted in surprise. He shouted, are you trying to get away? The ground exploded as the monster moved. Mo Ying Kong yelled, ditch this bastard. It's attacking from underground. Shoot, I can't block this one. Dan Juqian intervened using his technique. Ice white space. Huangbo Nung called out. Hey, Dan Juqian commanded. Keep going, we'll stop it. Mo Ying Kong responded. Thanks. The battle reached its peak. Mo Ying Kong groaned. Kook. Huangbo Nung shouted. Deluishwa. The dragon turtle roared again. Mo Ying Kong thought to himself. I must hold on. Huangbo Nung muttered. Patriarch, a soldier said. I can't believe it. Another soldier shouted. Just a bit more. Huangbo Nung yelled. Hua! Mo Ying Kong roared. Die, you monster! The beast was struck by the combined force. The dragon turtle groaned. Huangbo Nung panted. Ha! Ha! Mo Ying Kong gasped. Deluge! The soldiers cheered. Whoa! We did it! We killed the dragon turtle. A soldier laughed. Haha. The patriarchs did it. Huangbo Nung shouted. Patriarch! We've done it. He thought to himself. Phew. I really thought I was gonna die there. I didn't think Patriarch Moyang's plan would really work. Mo Ying Kong called out. Patriarch Huangbo. Huangbo Nung responded. Yes, I know. We did it. Patriarch Moyo. Mo Ying Kong screamed. Patriarch Wangbu. Huangbo Nung looked around in confusion. Patriarch Mo Ying Kong thought to himself. We did it, he decided. Now, we just need to help the other two Locatio. Black liquid dripped onto his shoulder. Mo Ying Kong wondered. What is this black liquid? The dragon turtle's giant eye opened. A soldier pointed and stammered. That's. Huangbo Nung breathed a sigh of relief. Phew. Mo Ying Kong yelled. Patriarch Huangbo. Huangbo Nung responded. Yes, I know. We did it. Patriarch Moyo. Mo Ying Kong screamed. Patriarch Huangbo. The monster unleashed a blast of lightning. Mo Ying Kong shouted in terror. Patriarch Wangbu. Am I dreaming right now? He laughed nervously. I thought I had seen enough unbelievable sights. He manages to surprise us each time. Moon Gyu smiled warmly. The Demon Lord. Qian Yo Woon is absorbing the dragon turtle's power. Energy charge at 500%. The dragon turtle roared. The beast groaned. MMPH. MMPH. Yo Woon asked mockingly. What's wrong? Try undoing it again. The monster's scales began to crack and crumble. The beast growled. Gee. Grr. Yo Woon commanded internally. Nano. The system responded. Target. Locked. Yo Woon smirked. Concentrating energy. Using 200% of the collected energy. Yo Woon commanded. Fire. A massive beam of purple energy struck the dragon turtle's head. The head disintegrated into pieces. A cult member cheered. The demon lord has defeated the dragon turtle. Another shouted. Hooray to the great heavenly demon divine cult. Long live the divine cult. Yo Woon landed on a nearby roof. The system reported. Remaining energy 230%. 210%. 195%. Yo Woon thought to himself. It's being spent really quickly since it's more than what I usually have. I'm feeling really tired with all this true energy leaving me so rapidly. Well, I took care of the immediate problem at hand, so, Moon Gyu called out. Demon Lord. Yo Woon reacted. He smiled. No need to worry. This is nothing. Moon Gyu gasped in shock. Yo Woon looked at his hands. Black flame? Why, out of nowhere. A sudden beam of light struck him from the monster's remains. Yo Woon groaned. Kook, he wondered. See, could it be? Moon Gyu yelled. Demon Lord. Mo Ying Kong muttered. I can't believe it. What a nightmare. The monster's flesh pulsed and bubbled. That monster is, truly, immortal. It used the most efficient defense mechanism. Yo Woon thought to himself. Thanks, Nano. I can't believe it. Its head just exploded. It managed to regenerate that? A voice shouted in the distance. Patriarch Wang Bu. Yo Woon wondered. He looked toward the other battlefields. So the Murum Alliance has also managed to slay one of its heads. But it, too, regenerated. Then it must be the same for the head the Northern Sea Ice Palace is fighting, he pondered. It can regenerate its head like its other body parts? If all 4 of its heads are like that, then, he realized with a start. Wait, I don't see one of its heads. He placed his hand on the ground. Is that it? He remained silent. A warrior shouted, Demon Lord, get out of the way. Yo Woon reacted. Sama Chok yelled, Demon Lord? He thought to himself. I felt vibrations from deep underground. The vibrations of a heartbeat. Beating lively, as if it's excited. He used his Qinggung to move quickly. He noted, over here, the vibrations are the strongest here. He looked down into a massive crater. He concluded, the real head of the dragon turtle must be down here. He checked his status through the system. Nano, how much true energy is left? The system responded. The remaining charged energy is 154%. Yo Woon thought to himself, that's not enough. Even if I were to use all my strength right now, it would not be as powerful as the last attack. I won't be able to reach where the dragon turtle's real body is hiding. I need more power. Let me go. I have to kill that monster. A guard pleaded. Please calm down. If you push yourself any further. A soldier cried out. Ah. Another soldier shouted. Patriarch. Just like that. Dan Juqian panted heavily. Damn it. The dragon turtle heads began to regenerate. Dan Juqian asked in shock. What the hell is up with its regenerative powers? A soldier yelled. But how are we supposed to kill that thing? The monster growled. Grr. Yo Woon stood ready at the edge of the crater. Dan Juqian questioned. Is that the demonic cult leader? What is he doing? The beast growled again. The system warned. Warning, not recommended. Too many variables are at play. Such an action is a very high risk to the user's body. Yo Woon exhaled. Phew. It's not a big deal. The system added. I recommend moving far away from WHER. A massive collision of energy occurred. Dan Juqian yelled. What a powerful attack. Demonic cult leader, why are you not getting out of its way? The dragon turtle roared. Gra. Yo Woon announced internally. Target acquired, Nano. He unleashed a swirling vortex of dark energy. Yeagle Sohee looked on in shock. The beasts' heads were severed and fell. A soldier asked. What just happened? Another noted. It's not regenerating this time. A warrior shouted in disbelief. He's still alive after that. Plus, he slayed all 3 heads of the dragon turtle at once. Unbelievable. Dan Juqian wondered. Is the demonic cult leader not human? Hyobong cheered with tears in his eyes. I knew you'd pull it off, Demon Lord. Wait, he doesn't seem to be in a good state. The system reported. Energy charged to 1200%. At limit. User. In danger. Yo Woon gritted his teeth. Please hold on just a bit longer, Nano. Hyobong spoke. Well, you're right. The black flames are burning stronger than ever, but the Demon Lord is. Yo Woon called out. Hyobong. Hyobong reacted in surprise. Huh? And me? Wait, what do you mean, if anything happens? Yo Woon commanded. The dragon turtle's lightning is weak to fire and heat. If anything happens, protect the cult members. I believe in you. Hyobong saluted. Yes, sir. Yo Woon exhaled. Phew. Now, then. A soldier gasped. Yo Woon controlled dozens of swords with his energy. He thought to himself, I'll give you back just as much as you have given me. The first elder reacted. This is the demonic cult leader? Dan Juqian thought. I don't believe it. He's covered the entire area with his true energy. Yeagle Sohee wondered. But what is he doing? Is he trying to kill all of us at once while we're exhausted from fighting the dragon turtle? Mo Yin Kong shouted. The dragon turtle is not dead yet. Have you forgotten about the 4th head? Dan Juqian realized. Is that what he's after? The system processed. Target. Lock. Aim. Multi. Lock. On. Yo Woon commanded. Activate. Beams of dark energy rained down. The first elder screamed. Get away. If we're too close, we'll get swept up in it. Heek. Dan Juqian looked at the ruins. The Ice Palace, with our 700 years of history. Yeagle Sohee identified the move. That's the Heavenly Flash. Dan Baek-yeon corrected her. No. That's not the Heavenly Flash I saw back then. He observed. This one is much stronger. The system reported. The remaining charged energy is 335%. Yo Woon struggled to stay conscious. Kook, it's not enough. I've already used 7/10 of my true energy. I feel like I'm going to lose consciousness. A massive explosion of red energy engulfed the ruins. A guard screamed. Kua! Dan Juqian yelled. Ji, get away from the crack. A warrior gasped. Hayek, Hyobong asked. Are you okay? The soldier responded. Thank you. This roar, it's as if it's crying in pain. This sudden surge of lightning, as if it's having a seizure. I'm sure of it. The Demon Lord's attack worked. He had hit the main head of the dragon turtle. Qian Yo-woon gritted his teeth as his vision blurred. The system reported. Energy usage is 120%, 250%, 300%. Yo-woon roared. Shut up! Die already! A giant beam of light pierced the sky and struck the earth. The warriors screamed. Kua! The smoke eventually cleared from the battlefield. Mo Yinkong watched with a stunned expression. Yo-woon breathed heavily. Huff, huff. He looked down at the site of the destruction. The crowd cheered in disbelief. The dragon turtle is finally dead. It won't come back to life again. The Demon Lord has done it. The cult members shouted. Hooray to the heavenly demon divine cult. Hooray! Moon Gyu cheered with tears in her eyes. Hooray! Yo-woon sighed. I'm glad I ended it before I ran out of true energy. Yo-woon thought to himself. Well done, Nano. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have. He paused in confusion. He wondered internally. Nano? Whwa. Yo-woon spit out blood. Kook. His body fell from the air toward the ground. The subordinates cried out. Demon Lord. Demonic cult leader. Demon Lord. Are you alright? Yo-woon struggled to move. Hyobong rushed forward. Demon Lord, let me help you. Hyobong was suddenly repelled by blue electricity. Koog. Keh. Oh, what is this? I can't get close to him. Yo-woon groaned in agony. Kook. Yo-woon thought to himself. Is this a side effect of using a technique that surpasses my abilities? I feel like my veins are going to tear apart. Moon Gyu asked nervously. Head Guardian? What is happening to the Demon Lord? I think it's because of the lightning ray that the dragon turtle's 3 heads used earlier. The Demon Lord absorbed those beams as true energy. It must be a consequence of that, Hyobong noted. Well, that makes sense. What he just did was way above the normal output of the heavenly flash. He used the powers of a mythical creature. Even he must have taken a toll from it, Moon Gyu asked. Then how can we help him? Hu Jinchong stepped forward. I'll try to drive out the lightning chi from the Demon Lord's body. No, Elder. I think it would be best Hu Jinchong argued. No, my fire is probably more, Yo-woon shouted. Don't come near me, he panted. Ha! Ha! He gathered his resolve. Phew. I'm going to circulate my internal energy. Cover me. Mo Yinkong commented. I think something's wrong with him. Yeagle So he agreed. I agree. It's as if he's weaker. Demon Lord, doing that here is too dangerous. If you are attacked, then, she ordered the group. 6 swords troop, guard the Demon Lord. Form a circle around him. The members responded. Yes, sir. Hu Jinchong expressed concern, but the Orthodox Muram Alliance and the Northern Sea Ice Palace might work together to attack. If that happens, we'll be put in a dire situation. I'm sure he's aware. Hu Jinchong asked. Sorry. They are also people from the Jianghu. And in front of them, lay the essence core and blood of a mythical creature that can greatly increase their internal energy. Which do you think is their priority right now? Sama Chok thought to himself. If he's right, they will try to take the essence core and blood for themselves. He asked aloud, is it alright for us to just stand here, then? Chai Taekyom asked, Hyobong, do you not care that they might take the dragon turtle's blood? I thought you would be really angry about this, Hyobong reacted. Oh, that? He smirked. It's never a good idea to eat things off the floor. He. An alliance member thought to himself. So this is the dragon turtle's blood. He continued thinking. I heard that those who drink a mythical creature's blood or consume their essence core will experience an immense increase in chi. This kind of opportunity is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. The great rejuvenation pill of the Shaolin Temple alone would start a war in the Jianghu. If I eat this, I can have the powers of the dragon turtle, the narrator explains. Joel Im-young, the Black Shadow Squad Team 3's leader, reached for the blood. Mo Yinkong commanded. Stop. Joel Im-young flinched. Mo Yinkong warned. Your body won't be able to handle consuming the pure blood of a mythical creature. Joel Im-young asked. How do you know that? Mo Yinkong explained. My clan's ancestors captured a dragon turtle long ago. Joel Im-young reacted in surprise. He asked, then you must know how to safely consume this creature's blood or essence core. Mo Yinkong admitted. It's a shame, but no. Joel Im-young argued. But if your ancestors managed to capture it, then I'm sure they also managed to. Mo Yinkong interrupted. The dragon turtle's essence core was stolen back then. He explained. According to the text, the dragon turtle's essence core was a concentration of its lightning energy. It was enveloped in blue flames. They had to figure out a way to transport it since no one could touch it. But then, it disappeared. They sent out people to track it down. But they were all killed by a martial master that they had never seen before in the Jianghu. He added, it was only after all available forces were put to the mission that they were able to corner the culprit into the valleys of a mountain. It is said that the traces of the man vanished, as if he had evaporated into the heavens. Zhou Limyung commented, I didn't know something like that happened, Mo Yinkong noted. It's like the story of 6 martial arts sects Supreme Saber Divine. Yes, it's more when the heavenly demon divine cult was established, a man screamed in agony. Kua, an alliance member gasped, gee goodness, his head exploded after drinking the dragon turtle's blood. Another shouted, it's just as the Moying patriarch said. Someone asked frantically, is there no safe way to drink it? Mo Yinkong thought to himself, I don't believe it. We felled the damn dragon turtle, and we're not going to get anything from it. As if, having come all the way here, I need to take something back with me. The demonic cult leader, he watched Qian Yo wound. Mo Yinkong commanded his men, let's take his head. You all saw how he fell to the ground, all weak. This is our chance to attack. Let's eradicate the demonic cult, bring order back to the Jianghu, and avenge, an alliance master smirked. You don't know cult leader Qian at all, he explained. Something like this happened back at Tong Xu. At the time, the martial masters of the Supreme Saber of 6 martial arts sect tried to get the cult leader Qian when he was weakened from using the heavenly flash. Do you know what happened? Those who tried all died. The subordinate reacted with shock. The master warned, he is not an easy opponent. He had also fooled his enemies of his bodily condition to lure them into attacking him back then. And do you think we can break through that formation right now? The subordinate went silent. He suggested, the Northern Sea Ice Palace. We can work with them instead. What do you think, temporary squad leader? The narrator explains. He was Mek Yuzhong, the Black Shadow Squad temporary squad leader. Mek Yuzhong thought to himself. Well, it's true that the Northern Sea Ice Palace still has a lot of its forces at hand. If we work with them to get through the formation and I hold the Dark King at bay, it may be possible. The subordinate urged. That's what I'm saying. Let's. Mek Yuzhong pointed. However, it seems that the Northern Sea Ice Palace is focused on something else entirely. The Ice Palace members gathered around the dragon's remains. Dan Juqian thought to himself. I knew it. It's not possible to consume the mythical creature's blood without diluting it, he commented aloud. I think we should freeze it to weaken the lightning energy first. The first elder asked. However, although its blood is nice, shouldn't we focus on the essence core? Dan Juqian stated. The demonic cult isn't doing anything, and the Muram Alliance has yet to make a move. This is our chance, he ordered. Squad leader Beck, hurry to the 5th elder. He's on Sealed Turtle Mountain. Follow me into the path the dragon turtle created with him and the others. The narrator explains. He spoke to Beck Gojong, the Frost Sword Squad leader. Beck Gojong replied, yes, sir. Dan Juqian commanded. Now, as for the rest, let us prepare to. Where's the 6th elder? An alliance member argued. We should prioritize killing the demonic cult leader first. Yeagle So he countered. No, the dragon turtle's essence core comes first. Moying Patriarch. A soldier yelled. The Northern Sea Ice Palace is on its way to go underground right now. Mo Yinkong reacted in shock. What? They're after the essence core. He thought to himself. That leaves us no choice. I'm concerned about the demonic cult leader, but... He commanded. Hurry, all of you. We will be the ones to take the dragon turtle's essence core. Yeagle So he argued. But we do not have a safe way to consume it. Mo Yinkong declared. Then we'll get rid of it. Yeagle So he asked. Sorry, Mo Yinkong explained. It'd be better to eradicate it than to have it go to the demonic cult leader. You've seen his powers. Yeagle So he thought to herself. He's right. The demonic cult leader is already perhaps the world's strongest martial artist. If he were to consume the dragon turtle's essence core on top of that, the Jianghu's power balance will be destroyed. She answered. I understand. Mo Yinkong commanded. General Strategist Yeagle, come with me. She replied. Yes, Patriarch. Mo Yinkong addressed the others. The rest of you, stay he. I don't see squad leader Mech. A soldier explained. He went with a few other squad leaders to retrieve the essence core. Mo Yinkong shouted. What? When? The soldier replied. Not long ago. Mo Yinkong thought with anger. Why didn't he report to me? Let's hurry, the narrator explains. They arrived at Sealed Turtle Mountain. A guard walked through the dark cave and asked, what is this disgusting smell? The other replied, I don't have a good feeling about this. We should hurry too. The leader stepped in a pool of blood. He reacted in horror. He asked, how did this happen? He observed. There are no traces of the dragon turtle having broken through the ice. The corpses have stab wounds. Who ambushed this place? A guard yelled. Squad leader, look over here. There are footsteps. The leader gasped. A hole. It seems like somebody came here while we were fighting the dragon turtle. He gripped his sword. Who could have betrayed us? Go and report to the proxy of the palace master right away. The guard asked. What about you? The leader declared. I'm going to go after whoever did this. He ran through the dark tunnel at full speed. He noticed a glow ahead. The guard thought to himself. Light, I've almost caught up to them. He considered. This means they might be also able to see me. I better be careful. He planned his next move. When I get the chance, I'll use the ice-white divine palm to bring down this place or block the path. He paused as he heard a noise. He wondered, what is this sound? The demon lord thought to himself. Phew. Moon Gyu watched him from a distance. She thought to herself, Demon Lord, it's already been 2 hours, but the lightning energy is not decreasing. She observed. He's usually done with chi cultivation by now, she wondered. Is it difficult even for him to deal with the dragon turtle's energy? The demon lord struggled to contain the power. He thought to himself, Kook. This lightning energy is hot enough to burn through my veins. He focused. I need to concentrate. I need to match the flow of the lightning energy and use heavenly demonic chi to protect my extraordinary 8 meridians. He grit his teeth. Damn it. The cultivation is taking a backseat because I'm trying to make sure my meridians don't get burnt. He lamented. This would be so much easier if Nano could use self-remediation to protect my meridians, he asked. Are you really gone, Nano? A sudden blue light flickered in his eyes. The system announced. SYS hashtag system restoration. Over hashtag load. Error. Occurred. Manual. Lock. UNL hash at %1. Yo1 asked in surprise. Nano. You. What? What are you talking about? Are you alright? The system reported. The lock on Blackbox's video has been undone. The scenery shifted into a strange metallic laboratory. Yo1 wondered. Is this augmented reality? Blackbox. What's that? Why are you? Where is this place? He looked at the surroundings. The walls are made of neither wood nor stone but metal. He observed the floating screens. There are so many translucent objects here like Nano's system windows. He tried to move his legs. I want to look around, but I can't move for some reason. He demanded. What is this, Nano? Where am I? He asked again. What do you mean? The lock's been undone. 2 men appeared in the room. Yo1 wondered. Who are these people? The man in the glasses spoke. You sure are stubborn. The seated man replied. You wouldn't have to wear those glasses if you just got the nanomachine transplanted into your eye. The glasses man argued. Man, don't be like that. The identity chip itself is already risky enough. The seated man explained. You already know that it'll be much easier for T. Page to track me down if I got the nanomachine transplanted. Yo1 thought to himself. Nanomachine. Do they mean nano? He listened. And who's this, T. Page? It's hard to understand what they're talking about. The glasses man asked. On that note, is there really no way to remove the identity chip? The seated man answered. We'll need to do dialysis in order to remove the chip, but that means you might lose your martial arts skills. The glasses man reacted. Oh, that's a bit. Yo1 thought to himself. Martial arts? This place doesn't look like Zhongyuan though. He stared at the man. There are martial arts here? Then that man. Is a man of the Zhonghu? The glasses man suggested. Oh, then what about using EMP to stop it? The seated man dismissed him. There's already an EMP canceller in the chip because of people like you. The glasses man asked. How about electrically shocking me? The seated man warned. You'll need more than 10 million volts to break it. I mean, I won't stop you if death is what you want. He continued. And even if we do say you succeed, if there's something wrong with the chip, the government will be notified. He looked at the screens. Then it'll only be a matter of time before they notice, too. Yo1 wondered. The glasses man walked toward the window. He thought to himself. I guess I can't do anything about being chased by T. Page. He walked directly past the demon lord. Yo1 thought to himself. What is this sense of familiarity I'm getting from this man? The glasses man reached his hand out. Yo1 shouted. Wait. Hey! The hand passed right through his chest. The demon lord realized. This is. I see. The reason I couldn't move is because this video. He understood the situation. Is in Nano's perspective. The man held up a glowing vial. He announced. This is the 7th generation. Nanomachine. He laughed. Kuhuhu. The pinnacle of modern science. A nanomachine even T. Page can't trace, the seated man remarked. You're guaranteed to receive a Nobel Prize if you just release this. The man in glasses huffed. HMPH. As if. It's made with illegal research and stolen metals. The seated man asked. Ahaha. That's true. What was it again? I think it starts with G, the glasses man answered. Gatelinium, the seated man asked. Do you have any more of that? You can't make more of this, can you? The glasses man replied. Do you know what you're talking about? That's the only 7th gen nanomachine there is in the world. Yo-Won thought to himself. Even if I concentrate, I can't tell what they're talking about. He watched them. What I do get, though, is that Nano was made by these people. He wondered. But then, how did Nano end up with me? The glasses man turned. Then I better get ready. The seated man asked. Are you serious about this? The glasses man confirmed. Of course. I'm going to hand this nanomachine over to someone in the past. Yo-Won reacted in shock. The glasses man continued. That machine should be able to handle the magnetic field in the time portal. Like you said, it's the pinnacle of modern science. The seated man warned. But giving it to someone in the past? It's too dangerous. The glasses man explained. That's why I put a lock on most of the dangerous features. The seated man asked. Do you still think that you should have stopped them when they were in power during the reign of the demonic South Master or the arm-severing demon emperor? Yo-Won thought to himself. Demonic South Master. That's my father's title. He frowned. I've never heard the title, arm-severing demon emperor, though. Who's that? And who is this, they, that they keep on mentioning? The seated man argued. Even if you change the past, you'll only be creating another branch in the timeline. He insisted. It'll be a separate future. It won't affect this war. The glasses man interrupted. I know what you believe about this. He looked at his watch and projected a hologram. He asked, but if that's true, how are you going to explain this? The seated man wondered. And this is, the glasses man stated, the strongest living being ever. A hero who has prevented the downfall of humanity 6 times on his own. He showed the data. A guidepost of history who had lived for 1,000 years. Isn't that strange? How does a human live for over 1,000 years? The glasses man explained. Well, that's the living legend who has reached the nature no human has ever reached. He continued. Once you're at that realm, you gain the ability to absorb chi from nature and attain immortality. He sighed. Is there even nature left on this planet to absorb chi from? The man smirked. The seated man asked. How should I know how martial arts work? The glasses man admitted. I don't know either. No one knows, I assume. Martial arts have been on the decline. He explained the current state. Blade 6 has monopoly over the remaining martial arts. Yo-Won thought to himself. Blade 6. The seated man asked. What are you trying to say? The glasses man commanded. Look. He typed on the interface. This is 1870. The glasses man hypothesized. What if, for some purpose, a person from this modern era is traveling further and further back into the past? He concluded. What if his purpose is to reform the past, and he's already succeeded? Yo-Won gasped as he saw the flag on the screen. The demon lord thought to himself. The supreme saber of 6 martial arts sect. An individual of the future traveled back in time to establish the supreme saber of 6 martial arts sect. And because of that, the future and history changed. He asked, is that what you're trying to say right now? The man in glasses replied. You don't need to be so roundabout. The descendant declared. I'm certain of it. The Supreme Saber God went back to the past and changed the future. Yo-Won gasped in shock. He thought to himself, that man is the Supreme Saber God? What? So the Supreme Saber God came from the future, and the reason he formed the Supreme Saber of 6 martial arts sect was to change the future. The scientists shouted, nonsense. If someone who's unpermitted with the nanomachine or an identity chip uses the time portal, they'll be tracked down by T.P., the Time Patrol. You know it's impossible to lose them. He sighed. Phew. Director Cheon, I know you and this corporation are unstable right now, but your theory is too far gone. Yo-Won wondered. Director Cheon, the descendant responded. It's not. He reached for a security device. It was a first-tier security document. The scientist stammered. The history archive? Wait, Director Cheon, I thought only the direct lineage of the Cheon household can open these documents? The descendant stated. No matter. I'll only show you the necessary parts. The system announced. Please confirm your identity in order to open. First step of the confirmation process complete. Please complete the retina check. The descendant leaned into the scanner. The system reported. Second step complete. Please complete the voice check. The descendant muttered. Oh, this is such a pain. He addressed the system. Sky Corporation, Director Cheon Mujong. The system confirmed. Confirmation complete. The history archive has been opened. Welcome, Director Cheon Museong. Yo-Won observed the display. He thought to himself, this is shocking. He looks just like me. He's the direct lineage of the Cheon household? That symbol also looks just like the symbol of our cult. If this video is from the far future, then it's highly likely he's my descendant, and this, Sky Corporation, is the heavenly demon divine cult in the future? The descendant pointed at a file. Found it. Yo-Won reacted in surprise. He thought to himself, the Heavenly Demon Divine Cult records? The creation of the Heavenly Demon Divine Cult. Ooh, the descendant told the scientist. Nah, like I told you, only look at what's necessary. Yo-Won observed. That is the recording of the cult's former leaders. How interesting. So this is how records are kept in the future. He read a title? It's the title from earlier. Arm-severing Demon Emperor, 24th Leader, Cheon Yo-An. He thought to himself, I'm being referred to by a title I've never heard of before? But my title is Demon God. He read further. The Demon Lord severed the arms of the enemies that posed a threat to the divine cult. As a result, he earned the title, Arm-severing Demon Emperor. Subsequently, alongside his close generals, he wondered, what? These records are, the descendant interrupted. Here, take a look at this one. Yo-Won complained. Wait, I was still reading. The descendant read aloud. 7th Cult Leader, Demonic Sword Emperor Cheon Maui? Look at the last parts of his record. The scientist cried out. The 7th Cult Leader was killed by the Supreme Saber God? Yo-Won thought to himself. The left-hand guardian told me about him some time ago. I've read about it in the books myself once I became the cult leader, too. That was the first time the Supreme Saber God showed himself. Traveling back in time. I can't believe it, he contemplated. But if it's true, it explains one thing. The traces of the founding Heavenly Demon and the Supreme Saber Divine Martial Arts at abandoned Sword Valley, as well as the blade marks on the skin of the Sword Demon in Demonic Arts Academy. Both were marks of the Supreme Saber God's techniques. He realized, martial arts are bound to improve with time. That's why it made more sense for the blade marks on the skin to appear more advanced, considering the timeline, but it was the opposite. The scientist asked, why didn't you reveal this? If this is all true, this means the Supreme Saber God isn't a hero but a very dangerous criminal. The descendant explained, he's also the honorary CEO of a megacorporation that is working with the government. Even if we were to reveal something like this, it's obvious what would happen to us. He looked down. It's frustrating, but as it is right now, Sky Corporation is no match for Blade 6, right now, at least. He grabbed his gear. I can set the arrival year for this time pack, right? The scientist answered, yes, but if my theory is incorrect and changing the past doesn't just create a separate timeline, then that would be dangerous in its own right. I assume you know about the butterfly effect. The descendant asked. Dangerous? He adjusted his visor. I'm trying to create butterfly effects right now. Yo-Won watched him. That look, the scientist stated. All right. Now, the nanomachine. 5 time packs? 5. You only need 2 to go and come back. Are you doing more than just giving the nanomachine? The descendant remained silent. Static filled the vision as the scene shifted. The system announced, Blackbox's security has been reset. Be blocking off unpermitted access, Yo-Won shouted. And no, turn it back on, Nano. I feel like what he was gonna say right there is really important. The system glitched. Access versus hash at video settings. and error res. The lock-on Blackbox has been reset. The scene cleared to a new holographic room. Yo-Won exclaimed, nice, and this time, I can move my body. He looked around. Huh? Something's off. I can only hear the sound. I can't see the video. He moved through the darkness. It should be around here. This voice. Is this Director Cheon talking? Is he looking for something? Screams echoed nearby. Yo-Won asked. This noise. Are these screams? What is going on? He looked at the plaques. Are these identity plaques? Let's see. Guardian Pavilion. Oh, were these people trying to protect the arm-severing Demon Emperor? He was confused. Huh? The arm-severing Demon Emperor. Me? A light flashed. The system warned. Behind us. Yo-Won reacted. This light. This voice. Who goes there? The descendant spoke. Captain. Yo-Won asked. Oh, what? The descendant smirked. Hey, now. It looks like my noble ancestor is in a good mood despite bleeding to death. He stood over a fallen figure. Yeah, this is 4 years ago. Yo-Won stared at his past self. On the day I almost died. The descendant stated, but I have to hurry. Before you die. He prepared the needle. Hurts just watching the needle go in. He finished the injection. There. All done. Yo-Won reacted in shock. So that's how I got Nano. He realized. So it wasn't Guard Jang who saved me but you, my descendant, Director Cheon. The descendant said, all right, forefather. I hope you succeed and do some good for your descendants. Yo-Won thought to himself. There are a few pieces of information I am now certain of. He is my descendant, and Nano came from the future. And he read the ancient text. And the 24th cult leader, the arm-severing demon emperor Cheon Yo-Un. I ended up expanding my forces all the way to the Northern Sea Ice Palace. After that, died on a battlefield. He considered the records. If I didn't have Nano, that is. The records said that the arm-severing demon emperor went through countless assassination attempts, and one attempt did almost succeed. He observed the flashback. But I was saved by the Guardian Pavilion. However, it wasn't the Guardian Pavilion that saved me that day. It was him, he realized. Yes, the day I got Nano. That was the turning point of that was the turning point of this world's future. The descendant asked nervously, did the Time Patrol bastards already catch on? He grit his teeth. Damn it. I have no choice then. This generation of nanomachine is cutting-edge technology, so you won't have any trouble using it. Figure it out, okay? Yo-Won thought to himself. You didn't create a butterfly. You created the demon god instead. I'll make sure to repay you for this. Do you still think that you should have stopped them when they were in power during the reign of the demonic South Master or the arm-severing demon emperor? It's frustrating, but as it is right now, Sky Corporation is no match for Blade 6. The Supreme Saber God went back to the past and changed the future. Yo-Won announced, I'll stop the Supreme Saber God. The system asked, the recording has reached its end. Would you like to replay it? Yo-Won asked. Nano, are you okay now? The system answered, I have restored all system damages caused by the electricity. I have finished upgrading so that Gatelinium can now withstand electricity. Yo-Won asked in surprise. Upgrade, he thought to himself. This was a feature even the scientists of the future didn't dream of. The narrator explains, the 7th gen nanomachine's essential feature was to use a type of metal that learns about shock on its own. This would not have been possible if it had been any other metal. The system reported, this upgrade is possible because the 7th generation nanomachine is made of gatelinium, a mysterious metal that even the people of the far future did not know much about. The narrator continues, Qian Yo-An was able to endure the heavenly demon qi that exists within his body, as well as the absolute yin energy, and the flame qi thanks to this technology. The system reported, some locked features were forcibly unlocked during the upgrade. Would you like to lock them again? Yo-Won thought to himself, you didn't unlock them no matter what I ordered during the last 4 years. You're just gonna unlock them like this? The system stated, I will lock them again if the user does not want them. Yo-Won asked, can I see what kind of features there are? The system announced, displaying all features available to the user. Yo-Won reacted, there are almost 60 features, this is only a part of them. The system explained, features that were previously locked were unlocked with the ability to charge and use energies of external sources. Yo-Won thought to himself, external sources, because of the lightning qi? He decided, I will not lock them again. The system confirmed, understood, the unlocked features have been activated. Yo-Won asked, Nano, can you take care of the injured meridians once you're done? The system replied, understood, we'll restore all the wounds of the user's body. The watching crowd cried out. Whoa, a man asked. Why did the lightning qi suddenly get stronger? Get back, all of you. Hyobong yelled. Whoa, it hurts, Demon Lord. He blinked. Huh? Another man reacted. What? It's decreasing again. No, look closer. It's getting absorbed into his body. The martial artists cheered. Duishwa, Demon Lord. Oh, Moon Gyu cried out. Finally, the guards knelt. I offer my greetings to the Demon Lord. Yo-Won thought to himself. This feeling as if a bunch of ants are moving inside my body. Nano is completely back. He asked, what happened? It's been about 2.5 hours. The Orthodox Murom Alliance and the Northern Sea Ice Palace's martial artists have gone underground to take the Dragon Turtle's essence core. I can't believe it, going underground to behead the Dragon Turtle. Yeagle told him nervously. Master, if we destroy the essence core, the Northern Sea Ice Palace and the demonic cult leader will be furious. Mo Yingkong replied firmly. Even if the demonic cult leader kills us for it, it'd be much better than him getting his hands on the essence core. A warrior shouted, Master, look over there. They found a tunnel blocked by a massive wall of ice. Mo Yingkong observed, that's the Northern Sea Ice Palace's ice-white divine arts. Yeagle asked, are they trying to stop us from following them? Mo Yingkong realized, that must mean that the Dragon Turtle's real body is there. He shattered the ice wall with a powerful strike. Mo Yingkong thought to himself, HMPH. I can't let you all take the essence core. The group entered the inner chamber and stopped in shock. Mo Yingkong asked, what is this? A warrior cried out, why is the Dragon Turtle? Mo Yingkong demanded, oh, what about the corpse? The essence core? He looked at the severed remains. It's not here. Danbaek Yun spoke solemnly. I think the damned lizard has beheaded itself and run off. Yeagle gasped. It beheaded itself. Danbaek Yun explained. I was shocked too. I didn't think it'd be alive after taking on an attack like that. Mo Yingkong accused. How are we supposed to believe you? Yeagle suggested. You could just as well be hiding away the dragon turtle's corpse to try and monopolize the Essence Co. A sudden tremor shook the cavern. Yeagle asked. What is this shaking? Dan Baek-yun pointed toward the darkness. What else could it be other than the dragon turtle? Look over there. Those are traces of it running away. Follow it if you can't trust us. Yeagle whispered. The dragon turtle's blood. She asked. Why aren't you chasing after it? Dan Baek-yun answered. The dragon turtle is headed toward the lake behind the ice palace. If we go any further and the cave ends up flooding, we'd all die. Mo Ying-kong muttered. Then, is the essence core lost? Dan Baek-yun remained silent. Elder Soul shouted. Sir, are you really just going to let the essence core slip through your fingers? The dragon turtle is injured and on the run. You're going to regret it forever if you don't chase after it now and kill it. We cannot afford to just fall back. Dan Baek-yun retorted. Were you not listening? If the dragon turtle does something and floods the caves, we'll all drown. Elder Soul argued. How are we supposed to kill the dragon turtle now and it appears again in the future? How are you going to stop it then? Dan Baek-yun hesitated. He thought to himself. The dragon turtle definitely appeared to get revenge. If it had wanted freedom, it could have just run off. He spoke. Mo Ying-kong interrupted. Master, we should retreat right now. If the dragon turtle is alive and ran off toward the lake, no one will be able to obtain the essence core. He thought to himself. You're right. As long as it doesn't end up in the hands of the demonic cult. A soldier ran toward them frantically. Palace Master's proxy. Sir, there's a problem. Dan Baek-yun asked. What is it? What about the warriors that were protecting the seal and the elders? The soldier announced. The warriors who have been protecting the seal have all died. Dan Baek-yun yelled. What are you talking about? Explain, the soldier explained. If that is. We headed to where the ice stone had been, and all the array specialists we had been ambushed by some organization. It seemed like there were dozens of culprits when we looked at the footsteps left behind. Dan Baek-yun thought to himself. Things are already complicated enough with the dragon turtle. Now we're also being ambushed? He asked. Where are they? Have you tracked them down? The soldier replied. Well, it seemed like they had drilled a hole in the ice stone and went further down. The Frost Sword Squad leader is currently tracking them down. Yeagle observed. Doesn't that mean that they're headed this way? A light flickered at the end of the corridor. Mo Ying-kong yelled. Duck. Intense blades of energy sliced through the air. The warriors screamed. Kua, Mo Ying-kong asked. Are you alright, General Strategist? Yeagle panted. Thank you. Dan Baek-yun muttered. Projectile blade aura? He thought to himself. Someone who can use that has to at least be at the evolutionary realm. Who could have done this? Several warriors wearing steel masks stepped out of the shadows. Dan Baek-yun noted. Steel masks? Danju Seong mentioned them before, he announced. It's the supreme saber of 6 martial arts sect. The masked leader laughed. Kukukik. What an honor. I didn't think you'd remember our sect's name. The narrator explains. It was the Blade Mastery sect leader, Byuk Ryu. Mo Ying-kong yelled. I am Mo Ying-kong, a master of the Muram Alliance. Do you think you can get away with this? Byuk Ryu smiled. The Muram Alliance? I was planning to just take what I needed and sneak out of here, but I guess that's not happening. Byuk Ryu jingled his weapon. It's time to work again. Mo Ying-kong thought to himself. Damn it. Even though I haven't fought them yet, I can tell that they're strong. But I can't fathom how strong some of them are. Byuk Ryu laughed. Hoo. You would have all lived if you hadn't been greedy and come down here for the essence core. He commanded. Attack! Mo Ying-kong shouted. Stop them! The two groups collided in a brutal melee. The Ice Palace warriors were overwhelmed by the strength of the steel-masked assassins. A dark, armored figure loomed in the background. It had been about 3 hours since the battle ended. He continued. When they noticed we weren't going to take action, the Orthodox Muram Alliance and the Northern Sea Ice Palace's martial artists went underground to take the Dragon Turtle's essence core. Qian Yo-won stood silently. Hyobong asked, Demon Lord? The Demon Lord thought to himself. It's not balanced. He observed his internal energy. I don't have enough lightning chi compared to the amount of heavenly demon chi, cold chi of absolute yin, and the fire Kirin's flame chi I have. You're already up. What happened? A soldier stammered. This is why I warned you not to go down there. Who are they? The soldier replied. The Northern Sea Ice Palace Masters Guards and the Elders. Yo-won asked. Elders? The soldier announced. I'll tell you about that, cult leader. He explained. They used to be subordinates of the late Northern Sea Ice Palace Master, cult leader. He continued. The people that went underground are the proxy Danju Qian and his close personnel. They did this on their own without discussion. He added desperately. We have no intentions to be at odds with the heavenly demon divine cult, Yo-won interrupted. Good. The soldier reacted. The demon lord thought to himself. Now I know who to kill and who to spare. Hyobong and the soldiers gasped. Hyobong offered. Allow me to lead the way to them, demon lord. Yo-won remained silent. The demon lord commanded. Nano, scan the underground area for me. The system replied. Compound scanning process activated, displaying virtual reality to the user's vision. Yo-won looked at the scan. He thought to himself. That's the dragon turtle's neck. But why is it cut off? Did it cut off its own head to run away? He observed the heat signatures. I assume those little dots are the Muram Alliance and the Northern Sea Ice Palace. He frowned. Aren't there too many of them? Plus, it looks like they're about to fight. Why is the demon lord just standing still? Hyobong wondered. Isn't he gonna go after them? Back off, all of you. The crowd reacted. Yo-won commanded. Nano. Intense energy surged around him. What is this sharp metallic sound? Yo-won smirked. I'm gonna test out one of Nano's new features. The system announced. Gatelinium nanosuit activated. The warriors underground were pushed back by a shockwave. They shouted. Whoa, to the ceiling, Danbaek Yun asked in a panic. What came through? We're really deep underground. A dark, armored figure stood in the middle of the debris. Byuk Ryu asked. You, who are you? He demanded. Reveal your identity. Byuk Ryu launched an attack with his golden weapon. The armored figure swiped its hand, releasing a massive blast of dark energy. Yo-won thought to himself. Nano, can I remove just the head part of this? The system replied. Removing helmet. The helmet retracted into the suit. The warriors gasped. A soldier stammered. See cult leader Cheon? Why are you? Another asked. What's going on? Danbaek Yun thought to himself. Cult leader Cheon should be cultivating lightning chi right now. He shouldn't be able to move. Elder Soul spoke nervously. See cult leader Cheon, I'm glad to see you're doing all right. Yo-won asked. Glad? He stared at the elder. You were worried about my well-being while also simultaneously trying to steal what is mine. How strange. Mo Yinkong grit his teeth. Kook, Elder Soul shouted. What are you talking about? Yours, he argued. It's true that you helped with killing the dragon turtle, but we also contributed. We all worked together to take down the dragon turtle, so how is it yours alone? Danbaek Yun agreed. He's right, he explained. We were only planning to check if the dragon turtle was still alive and bring its essence core back, so don't misunderstand our intentions. Danbaek Yun thought to himself. Well done, First Elder. Even the demonic cult leader shouldn't be able to blame us for something we have yet to do. He considered. Although it's a shame, it's a good thing that he said that. We don't want to fight that monster of a man either. We'll have to take care of the Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts sect before discussing the ownership of the essence core. Danbaek Yun paused. He wondered. What? Why is Patriarch Moying making that expression? It's like he's trying to tell me that I shouldn't. Yo-won suddenly vanished in a blur of motion. Elder Soul reacted in shock. The crowd cried out. Whoa! Elder Soul yelled. What kind of Chingun technique is that? Cult leader Cheon, what are you? Yo-won slashed through him instantly. The elder gasped. Doi, Danbaek Yun asked. Huh? Yo-won stood with a giant, glowing blade formed from his suit. Cult leader Cheon, what is the meaning of T? The demon lord asked. Did you think I'd believe your nonsensical excuse? Danbaek Yun struggled. Kua. He thought to himself. He's too strong. This man is on a completely different level from me. What am I supposed to do? Byuk Ryu screamed. Kook! Kill him! The masked warriors of the Blade Mastery sect charged forward. The demon lord observed. They're all at the evolutionary realm or above. Plus, he analyzed the incoming strikes. This isn't the Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts sect's martial arts. The armored figure dodged and counterattacked with precision. Byuk Ryu thought to himself. His hand turned into a sword? What the hell is up with that armor? The demon lord decapitated an opponent with a single sweep of his energy blade. He thought to himself. I knew it, he's being controlled. He remembered. The young leader said that the supreme heavenly demon was wearing a steel mask too. Byuk Ryu yelled frantically. What are you all doing? Attack him! Attack! The demon lord commanded. Is he perhaps? Nano, scan their faces. See if the supreme heavenly demon is among them. The system replied. I require the facial data of this supreme heavenly demon. The demon lord thought to himself. I don't know what he looks like, the system reported. I cannot specify individuals whose faces do not exist within the database. The demon lord thought to himself. I see. He engaged the mask squad again. He concluded. You guys aren't him. The demon lord sliced through another warrior effortlessly. He thought to himself. It's annoying, but I guess I'll have to check their martial arts one by one. I need to find someone who uses the heavenly demon sword art. Mo Yinkong watched in terror. I knew he was a monster, but that armor, it's... Yeagle added. Did you see that? He didn't even use internal energy to protect himself from the attacks. Byuk Ryu cried out. I don't believe it. My Demon Iron Squad. A warrior shouted. Damn it. Yeagle whispered to her master. This is our opportunity. Let's fall back while cult leader Qian is taking care of them. Mo Ying-kong agreed. Okay. Danbaek Yun commanded his men. Let's fall back. The Ice Palace and Muram Alliance groups turned to flee. Danbaek Yun stopped abruptly. A soldier asked, Sir, why did you? The Dark King, Marakim, stood blocking their exit with his blade drawn. Mo Ying-kong gasped. It's the Dark King. The armored figure called out. Head Guardian, he announced. They have broken the alliance out of greed and tried to take what is mine. Take them down. Kill them if they resist. Danbaek Yun stammered. Kill? What are you? The 6 Swords troop stepped forward. Moon Gyu and the others shouted. Yes, Demon Lord. Danbaek Yun thought to himself. This is bad. The Dark King and the 6 Swords troop are in front of us, while the demonic cult leader is behind us. Mo Ying-kong considered. But if we are to ask for forgiveness now and help him, we should be able to resolve the situation, so we need to. Danbaek Yun roared. Do not be afraid. I will clear the path. Let's go, warriors of the Ice Palace. Marakim clashed with the Palace Master Proxy. Danbaek Yun thought to himself. Take us down. Kill us if we resist? Even if they are one of the 3 most powerful forces of Zhongyuan, they are in our territory right now. He greatly underestimated me. A palace warrior shouted. Palace Master Proxy. Danbaek Yun responded. Yeah. He was a martial master at the Mystic Realm, as strong as the 5 strongest martial masters of Zhongyuan. Moon Gyu commanded. Let's go, my brothers and sisters of the divine cult. Yeagle thought to herself. A battle in a small enclosed space like this. No, this is actually an opportunity. I'll make sure that only Master and I make it out of here while they're all distracted. She pointed. Master, over there. Mo Ying-kong shouted. Yeah, how could I even think of surrendering without fighting? Let me help you, Yeagle asked. Master? Hyobong yelled. Let's go. Yeah. No. A new warrior stepped forward to confront the cult. The warrior announced. I, Mong Mu, shall take care of things here. Mo Ying-kong laughed. Ha ha ha. Nice. Very nice. He thought to himself. Mong Mu, Guzao's renowned, dream swordsman Mong Mu. Mong Mu shouted excitedly. I've been waiting for something like this. The winner makes it out of here alive. Danbaek Yun yelled. Ha! The Proxy Palace Master launched a freezing wave of energy. The Dark King dodged the attack with ease. Danbaek Yun thought to himself. Hube. Ice White Divine Palm. The Dark King counterattacked instantly. Danbaek Yun groaned. You! He dodged the attack right before his eyes and counterattacked straight away. I did hear that people call him the Wind God. I see why now. His cold chi is really strong. It seems he didn't become the Proxy Palace Master just through political means. That's the pinnacle of the Ice White Divine Arts, the 8th layer. The cold chi is too intense. A warrior noted in awe. The head guardian is using chi of the 10th master. Danbaek Yun smirked. Enough feeling each other out. Let's fight properly, Dark King. The Demon Lord slashed through several masked opponents. He thought to himself. Not you either. He observed the battle. Ha! It's taking so long because I have to see enough of their techniques to be able to tell. No one is using the Heavenly Demon Sword art. I've only gotten through half of them. A masked warrior attacked with a glowing fist. The enhanced fist? He thought to himself. Then you're not him either. The armored figure unleashed a wave of dark energy. The masked warriors screamed. Ku! The Demon Lord looked at the remaining enemies. A Muram Alliance warrior shouted. Fall back. He's not someone we can fight. A masked elder stepped forward, his face partially visible behind a broken mask. The Demon Lord thought to himself. An old man. He stopped moving. Mo Ying-yu gasped. Who? M. Monk Ji-yu Zhang. The narrator explains. It was Mo Ying-kang's son, Mo Ying-yu. Mo Ying-yu yelled in disbelief. That's Shaolin Temple's former leader? The 6 dots on his forehead and the enhanced fist. He addressed the old man. Father used to tell me stories about you. But I heard you vanished 18 years ago. Why are you with the Supreme Saber of 6 martial arts say? The monk attacked without a word. Mo Ying-yu groaned. Oh! He recognized the technique. The Shaolin Dragon Claw hand? Why are you doing this? We have no reason to fight. The monk stared back with empty eyes. Mo Ying-yu thought to himself. His eyes have no focus. Does he only care about the demonic cult leader? He looked at the other masked warriors. Huh? Wait, that man's sword technique. That's the 14th Plum Blossom sword technique. That person's using the Deonking Sect's sword technique. And that one's using the Wudang sect's sword technique. He realized in horror. These are all techniques only those from the direct lineage of the sects can learn. Does that mean the people who are fighting the demonic cult leader right now are all martial masters who went missing? The demon lord cut down another master. He thought to himself, not you either. Byuk Ryu panted heavily in the corner. Huff. Huff. He thought to himself, damn it, I put so much effort into making the Demon Iron Squad. I brainwashed the martial masters that used to be so famous with 10 years of torture to turn them into the best weapons. He grit his teeth. They're supposed to be too strong for the Northern Sea Ice Palace and the Muram Alliance, both of which are exhausted from fighting the dragon turtle. He glared at the armored figure. That damned demon god. I only have him to depend on now. Yo-Won thought to himself. Phew. In the end, he wasn't here. He commanded, surrender, you bastards. An opponent asked, isn't the side with the upper hand the one that should be saying that? Another warrior added, HMPH. Even if you're martial masters, there are a lot more of us. A warrior boasted, if it weren't for the demonic cult leader, you would all. Yo-Won silenced him with a brutal blow. Kook. Where did the guy with the bells on his staff go? A warrior yelled in terror. It's the demonic cult leader? Hayek. Run. Get back here. He realized. He went toward the direction where the dragon turtle went. I was wondering why the dragon turtle's corpse wasn't here. An assassin begged, please spare me. Yo-Won finished him instantly. A cultist spoke. Thank you for the help, Demon Lord. Here's your sword. Yo-Won replied, there are still some features I want to test out. Keep it with you for a while longer. The Demon Lord stood still for a moment. He commanded, Nano, I need a fast mode of transportation. The system replied, understood. Magnetic field booster activated. The Demon Lord took off at high speed. Farther away, a traitor laughed. Kukukik, it seems like the demonic cult leader cares more about the dragon turtle's essence core than your lives. Haha, it's because you are that stupid that you lost your arm. Mo Yingkong reacted. What? The Demon Lord believes in us. He continued. He believes that we are enough, that we can win. So, we will only do our best to live up to his expectations. We are the Six Swords Troop, the heavenly demon divine cults, the demon gods, swords. In another part of the cave, a masked man warned his companion. Be careful with it. Your head will explode if you eat it. A warrior remarked. It sure is humongous. It won't come back alive or anything, right? Another replied. Hey, don't jinx it, the leader barked. You guys have the time to be talking. Shut up and get to work. The narrator identifies. It was Wu Jinchong, high-ranking sect leader of the Massacre Blade sect, alongside Wan Sang-O, the sixth elder of the Ice Palace. Wan Sang-O smirked. Hoo-hoo, I didn't expect the demonic cult leader's powers to be so helpful. The other leader agreed. Yeah, it's nice that we get to take this for ourselves. But it'll all be for nothing if we can't get the blood and essence core out of here. He laughed. Hoo-hoo. Don't worry about that. The demonic cult leader is unable to move right now because of all the lightning chi, and the Demon Iron Squad will take care of the Muram Alliance and the Northern Sea Ice Pala, a voice interrupted. Massacre Blade Sect Leader. Wu Jinchong asked. Sect Leader Byuk, what happened to your arm? Byuk Ryu panted. Huff. Huff. Where is the Massacre Blade Sect Leader? We need to, the leader yelled. What? You still haven't taken the essence core? Byuk Ryu stammered. Well, the Massacre Blade Sect Leader, the leader shouted. Damn it. Calm down and tell us what is going on, Byuk Ryu screamed. Calm down? Half of the Demon Iron Squad is dead. Qian Yuan is killing them like they're mere insects. Wan Sang-O asked in shock. Oh, what? But I thought he was unable to move. Byuk Ryu insisted. I'm certain of it. I saw him with my own eyes. That's not all. The demon god is headed this way right now. Wu Jinchong stood stunned. A massive sonic boom echoed through the cave. A guard asked, what is that, Su? The armored demon lord crashed through the lines. The warriors screamed. Wu Jinchong asked, oh, what was that? The demon lord stood over the dragon turtle's head. The system reported, it's dead. Analysis electric energy. Wan Sang-O stammered. It's the demon god? Byuk Ryu yelled. Hayek, stop him. Stop him. Yo-Won thought to himself, Nano, if I land like this, it'll make me vulnerable to attacks. The system explained. The nanosuit's magnetic field flight landing technique is widely known as a superhero landing. It is used as a way to intimidate enemies. Yo-Won remarked. Okay, but it's terrible for the knees. Don't do it. An assassin shouted. Everyone, get ready. Yo-Won glared at them. So you were here stealing my possessions like the rats you are, supreme saber of 6 martial arts sect. Byuk Ryu panicked. He, Yo-Won stated. There's no use. I broke all your little toys. Byuk Ryu begged. Please. Please. The demon lord lunged forward with incredible speed. He unleashed a devastating strike. Duh. That technique. Wu Jinchang muttered. Damn it. I didn't think the dragon turtle would still be alive, he observed. This was our chance to get our hands on the essence core. An assassin called out. Blade Mastery Sect Leader. Please take a look at this. Byuk Ryu thought to himself. I can't believe it. What is he doing here? A dark figure stood atop the frozen head of the beast. Byuk Ryu laughed. Ku ha ha ha. Do you recognize his sword technique? He shouted. This is your revered heavenly demon sword art. He explained. I was taken aback because the control I had over his mind was gone when I found him in the cave. But you two get to fight now thanks to such a coincidence. Isn't this what fate is? He taunted. I'm excited to see how you will react to the face behind his mask, demon god. The mask fell to the ground. Byuk Ryu announced. Yes, this man is your grandfather, the former demonic cult leader, Cheon In-ji. Yo-won stared in silence. Byuk Ryu warned. Well, you better not move. I will blow his head up if you try anything. He thought to himself. Hoo. I wasn't expecting this to work, seeing as he can't do anything. I guess even the demon god is helpless in the face of his family. He commanded. Now, Cheon In-ji, this is an order. Use your oh-so-great demonic cult sword techniques to kill the demon god. No, to kill your grandson. Cheon In-ji roared. The former leader lunged forward with his blade. Byuk Ryu shouted. And nice. Cheon Yo-won blocked the strike with his armored arm. Byuk Ryu accused. You deranged bastard. Do you intend to kill your own grandfather? Yo-won moved with blinding speed. Byuk Ryu reacted. Huh? The villain was sent tumbling backward. Byuk Ryu screamed. Kua! He yelled to his men. This is your chance. Kill them both. He glared at Yo-won. You damn bastard. It's over. A massive blue energy field expanded from the demon lord. Wu Jinchang asked in shock. Protective enhanced energy. Mo Yinkong realized. No, that's... He asked. You tried to make him kill his grandson. He stated. I thought about letting a few of you live so that I can get some information out of you, but I've changed my mind. Die, all of you. A massive blast of energy erupted from the demon lord, consuming everything in its path. The assassins screamed as they were torn apart. Byuk Ryu cried out in terror. Hayek. He begged. I'm sorry. Help me. The assassins shrieked. Byuk Ryu gasped. He. Yo-won stood amidst the blood and rubble. He trembled. He's a monster. The assassin screamed in terror. Help. Wu Jinchang called out to his ally. Blade Form Sect Leader, he shouted. You over there. Stop spacing out and hurry over to the Massacre Blade Sect Lee. The Massacre Blade Sect Leader grit his teeth. Damn it, over 30 of us have already died. He realized the situation. If we hadn't resorted to using ice swords, maybe we'd be dead by now. He observed the demon lord. But something's off. Even though he's angry about the order that was given to the supreme heavenly demon, he's not using his heavenly flash. Another warrior groaned. Damn it, the Massacre Blade Sect Leader panicked. At this rate, it's over. He closed his eyes as an attack surged toward him. He panted heavily. I'm alive. He wondered in confusion. That should have pierced my head. How am I still? He looked at the surrounding area. Wait, there are absolutely zero traces on the ceiling and walls. Could it be? He hypothesized. Is he using ice swords for his chi sword control? To make sure that the cave won't be impacted by the attacks. The system warned. Danger. The cave is unstable. There is a very high likelihood of destruction. Cheon Yo-won thought to himself. A bit further east from here is the lake. If the cave collapses, the 6 swords troop and my grandfather will. The Massacre Blade Sect Leader reacted. Is he trying to take the cave down? He saw the debris falling. The cave's walls are being hit. The system reported. The likelihood of collapse is increasing. Yo-won commanded. Nano. The system replied. Focus target mode, activated. It's easier to stop an opponent when you know where they're going to attack. The Massacre Blade Sect Leader yelled. We'll stop him by destroying the walls. He charged forward. Even if you're the demon god, we can still put up a bit of a fight. The leader gasped. He's double-wielding the formless sword? He screamed desperately. If this will be our grave, then we will drag you to hell with you. Yo-won spoke coldly. You can talk your nonsense in hell. A sudden flood of water burst into the chamber. An assassin laughed maniacally. Hoo-hee-hee-hee. It's over now, demon god. Let's drown together. He chuckled. Coo-hee-hee-hee. I will do what even the higher-ranking sect leader couldn't do, the system announced. The cave has reached its limit. The cave will collapse soon. Hyobong shouted. Demon Lord, are you all right? Yo-won commanded. Don't come any closer. The cave will collapse soon. He ordered. Hyobong, there should be an old man that hasn't been struck with an ice sword. That's the former supreme heavenly demon. Take him out of here. Moon-gyu asked. What about you? Yo-won replied. I'll get out of here with the essence core once you've all escaped. I can't leave if you guys are still here. Moon-gyu thought to herself. Demon Lord. He's right. We're getting in his way by staying here. You heard the Demon Lord's orders. Retreat as quickly as possible. The warriors responded. Understood. Moon-gyu shouted back. Demon Lord, you have to come right away. Yo-won thought to himself. Now, there's nothing to get in my way. He turned to the frozen wall of water. He asked, Nano, you can feel the water pressure, right? How long do you think it'll hold up with an ice wall this thick? The system answered, 15 minutes is the limit. I suggest you escape before the wall breaks. Yo-won planned. That should be enough time. I'll only stay here for 10 minutes, then I'm out. He looked at the beast. Is the essence core under this? Well, I guess I'll see. Yo-won sensed something and turned around. A new figure covered in crackling lightning energy emerged. The man whispered, pale face, sharp eyes, cuckoo, you must be the demon god. The narrator explains. Massacre Blade sect leader Sang-dal was the only one among the 6 high-ranking sects that was allowed to stay by the Blade Master's side due to his loyalty. He continues. However, he possessed a secret that he had worked so hard to hide from the Blade Master. It was that he had ambitions to surpass his master. The narrator explains. He managed to find the dragon turtle running away, and he could tell that the dragon turtle was dying. Sang-dal thought to himself. The demon god is no human. If I had these powers, the narrator explains. Demon god Cheon Yo-un's powers made him envious and greedy. Sang-dal thought to himself. Huh? What do you mean? Why shouldn't I put it in the case? He considered the situation. We won't be able to leave this place easily with the Northern Sea Ice Palace, the Murum Alliance, and the demonic cult here. But the Blade Master said that the essence core should be retrieved no matter what, the narrator explains. When he was faced with the dragon turtle's essence core, his hidden ambition revealed itself. Sang-dal asked himself, don't you think it'd be better for me to consume it than to let it be taken away by those bastards? He grinned at the Demon Lord. It's you, Demon God. Sang-dal laughed. Great timing. I've been wanting to try out this overwhelming power. Cuckoo. I knew I was making the right choice. He thought to himself. I have so much more internal energy than before. The true chi of the lightning element in my central dantian has the power to destroy everything in sight. He mused. But one thing I'm disappointed about is that I was only able to absorb about 2/10 of the essence core. He calculated. However, had I been greedy and took it all in, I would have burned to death. Sang-dal reacted with surprise. Surprising. I just burst forth my true chi with the thought of holding a blade, and it formed a formless blade made of lightning chi. Cheon Yo-won thought to himself. Formless blade made of lightning chi? I can still feel the spirit of the dragon turtle. He analyzed the opponent. He must have failed to absorb the entire essence core, but he's still so strong. Is it more effective than the fire Kirin's because it just freshly died? Sang-dal shouted. Ku-ha-ha-ha, demon god. You find yourself in a terrible situation. He asked. Do you know what the deciding factor is when it comes to a duel between equal martial masters? He declared. It's speed. It was the lightning chi formless blade against the supreme saber divine martial arts 5th technique, ultimate delightful murder blade. Sang-dal thought in shock. He caught up to my speed, and that's not all. He wondered. How does he know the blade techniques of the supreme saber divine martial arts? Yo-won thought to himself. It's not working. Then I have to use my secret technique. He decided. There are only 2 techniques that can be used with 2 weapons in the Supreme Saber Divine Martial Arts and the Heavenly Demon Sword Art. One causes too big of a shockwave, so I'm going to have to use the other one. He used the right black flame sword and the left black ice blade. Sang-dal smirked. Impressive. 2 separate moves at once. But I can see it now, the weakness of his double wielding. The Heavenly Demon Sword Art clashed with the Supreme Saber Divine Martial Arts. He broke through. He mocked his opponent. You seem pretty taken aback, demon god. He has already finished coming up with ways to counter 4 of the Heavenly Demon Sword Arts techniques. He must have used the former Supreme Heavenly Demon. He realized. However, you can't learn the Heavenly Demon Sword Art without the circulation technique. I assume he only focused on countering it. Sang-dal laughed maniacally. Hoo. You think that you can defeat me when I know how to counter all your moves? He threatened. The cave will fall in soon, so you won't even be able to use your heavenly flash. He boasted. Of course, I'd be able to endure your heavenly flash with how strong I am now. He lunged forward. Demon god. This is your grave, Yo-won asked calmly. You can counter all my moves. He stated. You're gravely mistaken. Sang Dal reacted in confusion. What? Each of his illusions are using different techniques? He yelled. What are you trying to do? Just because you attack like this, do you think that I won't be able to? Sang Dal gasped. What? This is his last remaining illusion. He thought to himself. He's fast. Sang Dal screamed. What? He looked around frantically. He vanished. I'm slower than him? Where is he? Where? He blocked a strike. I stopped him. He thought to himself. Yes, he basically only has the heavenly demon sword art. All I need to do is counter it like before. Sang Dal gaped in horror. What happened? I thought I blocked it. He realized too late. This kind of movement is only possible when using the Supreme Saber Divine Martial Arts. He grit his teeth. Demon God. This bastard. Did he combine the Supreme Saber Divine Martial Arts and the Heavenly Demon Sword Art into one? Yo-Won smirked. Ooh, your injuries heal faster than someone who has taken the Girin's essence core. He asked. Then how about this? The Demon Lord swung his blade and severed the man's arm. Yo-Won announced. One arm down. Sang Dal screamed. Kua, Yo-Won stated. Next is, Sang Dal roared. You, he thought to himself. I did hear that absorbing an essence core gives you powerful regeneration, but I didn't expect it to be this good. I guess it can't bring back an amputated arm though. He wondered in fear. Is he as powerful as a Grand Master? Sang Dal analyzed his opponent. His movement earlier was something only possible when using the Supreme Saber Divine Martial Arts. To combine it with the Heavenly Demon Sword Art, for which I don't even know if there is a proper cultivation technique. It would be like creating a whole new martial technique. He narrowed his eyes. Something's wrong. Is he really the same demon god that we know? He's way too different from the description we read of him in his records. He realized. Everything that we had been preparing perfectly until now is being ruined. I need to make it out of here and tell the Blade Master about it. Even if I were to bring down the ceiling of this cave, I can't make it out faster than the demon god. He looked at the essence core. On the other hand, my body won't be able to handle absorbing the rest of the essence core. Sang Dal grit his teeth. Damn it. At this rate, he noticed something. The lightning chi is reacting strongly to blood. He remembered the previous exchange. Earlier, when my throat was almost slit, the expulsion of the lightning chi stopped his movement for a second. It must be because he was electrocuted. Sang Dal grinned maliciously. Come closer. I'll use my blood to electrocute you as strongly as I can. He stood his ground. Now, he shouted, burn to death at the hands of my lightning chi, demon god. A massive blast of electricity filled the room. Sang Dal panted. Kukukik. He laughed. I win. This is my perfect victo. Yo-Won spoke from behind him. Who killed whom? Sang Dal asked in shock. Demon god? How did you? Are you a monster? The system announced. The nanosuit's lock has been undone due to the extra lightning chi. Yo-Won thought to himself. Nice. The Gatelinium's effects are definitely palpable. He reached out. Now, barf up what you stole from me. Sang Dal screamed as the energy was ripped from him. Ki, stop. Stop it. Kua, Yo-Won observed. It's just as I expected. He thought to himself. I don't know why, but the heavenly demon chi is great at absorbing true chi of different elements. I've managed to make all of the lightning chi he absorbed mine. I'll test it out now. Sang Dal screamed one last time. Kua. Looks like it was effective. I mean, he exploded. Yo-Won looked at the core. I'll just take the essence core and get out of here right after. He noted. It's bigger than I expected. It's going to take quite a while to absorb all of T. Tremors shook the cavern. Yo-Won thought to himself. Shit, the fight must have caused that. I better get out of here before the entire place comes down on my head. He commanded. Nano, can you fixate the essence core onto me? The system replied. It is possible. Massive rocks fell from the ceiling. The place is collapsing just like Nano said. Yo-Won thought to himself. The Six Swords troop is out of here, right? He reacted. Shit, there's water coming from here too. The system announced. Emergency. Activating diving mode on the nanosuit. 90% oxygen remaining. The chamber flooded completely. Yo-Won groaned. Kua. This is bad. He thought to himself. The current's too strong. I'm being sucked toward the hole made in the cave. This is gonna be difficult, he commanded. Nano, put the boosters on full power. The system replied. Activating boosters at full power. The system reported. 80% oxygen remaining. Yo-Won noticed something in the water. Is that the Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts Sex Blade? He wondered. Wait, are their weapons getting swept into the water? He dodged the falling debris. This is bad. Damn it. I won't be able to dodge these and the other debris at the same time. Then, I'll break through the ceiling instead. Yo-Won reacted. He realized. The destructive power of the ice swords has been weakened because of the flowing water's velocity. This is bad. One more time. The system warned. Warning. Using true chi accelerates oxygen usage. 35% oxygen remaining. Yo-1 struggled to strike. One more time. The system reported. Less than 20% oxygen remaining. Yo-1 shouted in his head. One more time. The system reported. Less than 15% oxygen remaining. Yo-1 focused. One more. The system reported. Less than 5% oxygen remaining. Less than 4% oxygen remaining. The countdown continued. Less than 3% oxygen remaining. The system reported. Less than 1% oxygen remaining. Yo-1 struggled as he was pinned under a massive rock. The system warned. There is not enough oxygen. There is not enough oxygen. The system reported. User's pulse is unstable. User's breathing rate is under average. The system announced. Urgent situation. Charging oxygen. A massive shockwave erupted from the debris. Yo-1 gasped. What happened? I thought I was out of oxygen? The system explained. Extracting oxygen from the atmosphere. 35% charged. Yo-1 reacted. What? Why didn't you tell me about that sooner? The system remained silent. Yo-1 decided. All right, then I'll just charge up my oxygen before leaving. The system replied. There is not enough oxygen remaining in the atmosphere to do that. Yo-1 asked. Then is what I have all there is? The system confirmed. Yes. Yo-1 observed. I see. Then I'm in the same situation as before. It's going to be a pain getting out of here seeing as there is still debris flowing down. Even if I were to use ice swords. He noticed something glowing. What's that? I can feel a really intense cold energy from that staff. I didn't see anyone with a staff like that among the enemies. He looked closer. It's covered in texts. Nano, zoom in and scan the characters. The system announced, projecting the scanned data into virtual reality. Yo-1 reacted in shock. The cold ice heavenly art? This staff is the divine relic that the Northern Sea Ice Palace lost long ago. Long ago, the dragon turtle appeared, threatening the Northern Sea Ice Palace. The Northern Sea Ice Palace's 5th-generation palace master risked his life to fight the dragon turtle, but even he was not strong enough to kill it. In the end, he made an extreme choice in order to save his people, to lure the dragon turtle into the secret storage of the Northern Sea Ice Palace. The secret storage was made up of Agilaria all over, so even a martial master will struggle to escape once locked in there. Since Agilaria becomes sturdier with more cold chi while also exuding cold chi at the same time, the ice walls became very strong with the place full of it. The palace master lured the dragon turtle into the trap and managed to imprison the dragon turtle in the secret storage by killing himself using the cold ice heavenly art. This choice led to the loss of all the plaques of the ancestors of the Northern Sea Ice Palace, along with their martial arts and the divine relic. The system reported, the cold ice heavenly art is divided into 5 levels. Once you reach the 3rd level, you can imbue rock-hard materials with cold chi to turn it into Agilaria, and at the 4th level, you can imbue steel with cold chi to turn it into ice steel. The last level allows you to make ice that is as hard as ice steel, Yo-1 realized. If that's really possible, I'll be able to use chi sword control using ice swords without a regular weapon. I couldn't pierce the walls using ice swords made from the cold chi I have. However, if my ice swords were as hard as ice steel, I should be able to break through this wall. The system asked. It is possible to transfer all of the techniques of the cold ice heavenly art to the brain. Do you wish to proceed? Yo-1 smirked. Of course, Nano. Make sure not to leave a single one out. The scene shifted to the surface where the martial artists gathered around the crater. Yeagle spoke. Patriarch Moying, I'm sorry about how things turned out. The elder asked. How are your internal wounds? Another elder replied. I am all right. It's tolerable. Don't resist. Stay still. We won't harm anyone if you listen. Marakim and Hyobong arrived. Head Guardian. Why is it just you guys? What about the Demon Lord? He said the underground cave was gonna collapse and send us out before him. However, he should have gotten here faster than us considering his Qinggung technique. He looked at the man on Hyobong's back. Wait, is the person on your back the former supreme heavenly demon? The ground suddenly trembled violently. Move! A soldier shouted. The ground is collapsing. A massive geyser of water burst through the ground. The soldier cried out. The water took over the entire place. Hyobong stammered. Demon Lord, you said you'd be up here. Moon-gyu screamed. Demon Lord. Moon-gyu, where are you trying to go? Moon-gyu yelled. Let me go. Let me go right now. I have to save the Demon Lord. Calm down. How do you intend to swim through that? Patriarch Moying wondered. Did the demonic cult leader not make it out? He thought to himself. Ah, the heavens must be on our side. The essence core of the dragon turtle is lost, then. That's less for us to worry about. I guess even the demon god is weak in the face of nature's force. Yeagle thought to herself, I can't believe the demonic cult leader didn't make it out of there, even though I should be happy as the general strategist of the Muram Alliance. I don't have a good feeling about this. The reason we survived is because the demonic cult leader killed the dragon turtle and the martial masters of the Supreme Saber of Six Martial Arts sect. In comparison, I turned a blind eye to the injustice caused by the Muram Alliance for our own benefit. I convinced myself that it's for the Orthodox Muram Alliance, that it's the right thing to do. What exactly makes the Orthodox Muram just? The guardians of the palace master, the elders, and Danbaek Yun. He commanded his soldiers, capture Danju Qian, the culprit behind the betrayal, and his group. Seal their dantians and imprison them. The soldiers shouted. Yes, sir. Elder Sol Ambek yelled, who are you calling a traitor? You're the ones who broke the rules of the palace and supported the unqualified young leader to cause this incident. The elder retorted, HMPH, you brought outsiders into our business and drove our palace master to death, yet you still have the gall to say those things? A palace member argued, this is ridiculous. You're accusing us of bringing outsiders into our matters? Danbaek Yun looked at the young leader. Danbaek Yun, I didn't want to hate him since he's my nephew and disciple, but now I don't even care. Yes, he's the cause behind all this. If only my brother hadn't titled him the young leader. The young leader reacted in shock. Did you really think the people of the palace would support you if you resort to such means to become the palace master when you're not even qualified? It's about time I write the rules of the Ice Palace. Elder Sol asked. Oh, what are you attempting right now? The elder thought to himself. Kook. Though he might be wounded, his chi is still powerful. He may have surrendered because of the demonic cult leader, but he's still a martial master. He's skilled enough to fight all of the elders and the guardians on his own. Elder Sol, you don't seem to understand the situation you are in. We did not surrender because we're afraid of the demonic cult. Do you really think we'll surrender now that the demonic cult leader is dead? A sudden rumbling echoed. A warrior asked, huh? Another earthquake. Is this place going to collapse too? No, something feels a bit different. I can feel chi. It's as if a massive pillar of water erupted into the sky. A ray of light? Is this projectile sword aura. The armored demon lord rose atop the pillar of water. Ice swords circled him as he ascended. Moon Gyu cheered. Whoa, it's the demon lord. Danbaek Yun gaped. What about the demonic cult leader? He really survived that? Is he not human? He looked at the staff in the demon lord's hand. Huh? Is that? Could it really be the cold ice staff? The narrator explains. Long ago, a star fell north of Yunnan. The founder of the Northern Sea Ice Palace and a master of ice arts, Dan Young, tried to make armor out of the star, but the meteorite could not be smelted on its own. He had to mix in gold. This led to the creation of the cold ice staff. However, this cold ice staff was treated more as a divine relic rather than a weapon, which is why it was placed in the underground tomb where all of the ancestors' plaques were. Alongside the legend, the one to obtain the cold ice staff and its hidden power is the truly qualified person to be the palace master. It's in ruins now, but it looks just like the divine relic that the founder's statue is holding. In the first place, the reason the dragon turtle returned is because my brother, the late palace master, broke the seal of the ice walls to find the divine relic. Danbaek Yun asked the soldier. What did you say about the demonic cult leader again? The soldier reacted in shock. He looked up and saw a figure in the sky. Cult leader Qian. Cult leader Qian, I must talk to you. A warrior asked. What? What is he trying to do now? Another warrior wondered. Is he not scared of the demonic cult leader? There's no way the demonic cult leader would spare anyone who tried to take the essence core. Danbaek Yun shouted. Cult Li. The demon lord vanished in a flash of light. The warriors stood in silence. Dan Yun thought to himself. Yeah, I guess it makes sense that he would return to the demonic cult members. But I'm glad. If he had died, all this would have been over for. Uncle is the strongest martial artist in the Northern Sea, after all. An elder commanded. Arrest them, the soldiers shouted. Yes, sir. The guards moved to restrain Danbaek Yun. Danbaek Yun yelled. You arrogant bastards. He released a wave of energy that pushed the soldiers back. An elder shouted. Danju Qian, do you still intend to resist? A lot of talk for someone who can't even get his hands on me. You will pay for this. A soldier groaned. Kook, the soldier thought to himself. I'll die if I get too close. This is an internal issue of the palace, separate from the essence core. I need to prevent the demonic cult leader from getting involved. This can all be resolved if he just promises not to get in my way. He dashed forward. Danju Qian, the elder shouted. We must chase after him. He's after the divine relic. Dan Yun reacted with concern. I need to get the cold ice staff. If Danbaek Yun takes it, I'll no longer have an excuse. The cult members cheered. Demon Lord, you're all right. We believed in you, Demon Lord. Moon-gyu screamed. Demon Lord, I told you not to scare me like that. If anything had happened to you, ooh. Hyobong added nervously. She's right, Demon Lord. Please listen to her. Cheon Yo-won thought to himself. Looks like I made everyone worry. I guess I could tolerate some scolding. Marakim asked. Demon Lord, is that staff? Yo-won looked at the weapon. The dragon turtle's essence core is also amazing, even though you're already suppressing it. The cold chi that staff exudes is also amazing, even though you're already suppressing it. Marakim explained. I think it's the lost divine relic of the Northern Sea Ice Palace. A divine relic? Is that the divine relic the late palace master had been looking for before he died? Moon-gyu asked. Then do you plan to hand that over to the young palace master? Yo-won started to speak. I was going to, but the staff is. Marakim commanded. Stop. Let me meet him. Marakim warned. The Demon Lord shall decide what to do with you. That's why I warned you to just wait. I risked everything for the future of the Northern Sea Ice Palace. I can throw my ego away too. He fell to his knees and prostrated. Please let me speak to cult leader Cheon. Yo-won asked. What do you want to talk about? I want to apologize for attempting to take the essence core. I wanted to increase my chi by getting the essence core, but that was wrong of me. You were the one who killed the dragon turtle. I realize that you were displeased by that. Nevertheless, I plead with you to forgive me. He continued. I know an apology is not good enough. Naturally, I will give up the essence core and the dragon turtle's corpse. If you want us to close ourselves off from the Jianghu or ally with you instead of the Muram alliance, we will do that. I am willing to do anything if you would allow me 2 favors. A warrior asked. Ha, you're trying to negotiate now? Close the palace down? That would mean putting a pause on all public activities. He wants to give up on domination over the region? It seems like he's exchanged his ego for a goal he has, but even if it weren't for that, the future of the Northern Sea Ice Palace already lies in the Demon Lord's hands. Yo-won spoke calmly. Interesting. What do you want? First is that you do not intervene with the internal conflicts of the palace. We have our own matters and problems. I hope you understand that. Yo-won asked. And the second? The staff you are holding is the palace's divine relic. I would like to ask for you to return it to me, Dan-yun shouted. No, do not hand that to him. The young leader ran into the scene. Earlier, he said that since you died in the underground cave, no demonic cult member. How dare you interrupt the conversation of 2 leaders? He launched a palm strike at the boy. Marakim intervened and blocked the attack. Dark King? Kook. I leapt into action faster than him, yet he still managed to get in my way. I admit he's better than me when it comes to Chingung. Marakim commanded. Keep talking. Dan-yun nodded. Oh okay. He said that no demonic cult member scares him as long as you're not here. Cult leader Cheon, do not trust this kid. I never said that. Since they were being conceited, I said that I'm not afraid of them as long as you're not protecting them. Dan-yun yelled. You do not deserve to be the palace master. How dare you try to get help from an outsider to resolve our palace's internal conflicts? Ha, that's rich, coming from you. Dan-yun roared. Is that why you dragged the supreme saber of 6 martial arts sect into this and killed my father, the former palace master? The crowd reacted in total shock. Young palace master proxy, cult leader Cheon, please, consider the offer I just made. If you stay out of the palace's matters and give me the divine relic, I will give you whatever you want. Dan-yun argued. Cult leader Cheon, I signed that contract in Kaifeng to form an alliance with your cult. Dan-baek-yun yelled. What? Who are you to write such a contract? You're not even the palace's representative. Yo-won sighed. Who? Seems like things went according to plan. Although it's annoying, he shouldn't be able to do a thing with everyone here. Even if he were to kill me, it'll just make everyone hate Dan-baek-yun. I need to keep this up so that the demonic cult leader cannot intervene. Isn't it because you can't break the palace founder's decrees? What? Dan-yun explained. It's a will left behind by our palace's founder. It says that the person who earns the divine relic is the true palace master. Cult leader Cheon, please make wise decisions. If you give me the divine relic, the palace will fully support your cult. Dan-yun warned. Cult leader Cheon, don't fall for his words. Yo-won thought to himself. He asked. Did you just say that the person who earns the divine relic is the true master of the Northern Sea Ice Palace? The Demon Lord smirked. Well, said divine relic is in my hand right now. The crowd reacted in shock. Oh, what is he saying? Is he joking? The Demon Lord isn't one to throw words around. He's trying to take over the Northern Sea Ice Palace. Moon-gyu thought to herself. But the original plan was to ally with the Northern Sea Ice Palace. Wouldn't a lot of people disagree with this idea? Cult leader Qian, I have to say, you just crossed a line. That is the palace's divine relic. It is completely separate from the dragon turtle matter. Dan Yun added nervously. Cult leader Qian, I do appreciate your help, but who wouldn't go after the divine relic if an outsider earning the divine relic meant that they could become the palace master? Yowen replied, you just said it yourselves. The person to earn the divine relic is the true master of the Northern Sea Ice Palace. Cult leader Qian, that is a decree passed down the bloodline of the founder. It's not meant for everyone in the world. He's right about that. Yowen smirked. Interesting. I don't remember reading anything about excluding outsiders. He looked at the inscriptions on the ground. Yowen asked, isn't this what was written on the statue of the founder? The narrator explains, the one who earns the cold ice staff and its hidden powers has earned the right to become the true master of the Northern Sea Ice Palace. Dan Yun thought to himself. We only quickly passed by it. How does he remember that? Yowen asked, does it look like I got the divine relic through very easy means? Then why haven't the past palace masters been able to find it? The young palace master has the advantage of legitimacy, but he doesn't have the skills to back it up. The proxy, on the other hand, is very strong. However, he's committed treason. He's gotten outside forces involved to awaken the dragon turtle and killed the former palace master. Well, it's nonsensical, but cult leader Qian was the one who killed the dragon turtle and saved us. He even found the divine relic, which might have been lost forever. The crowd murmured, are you telling me that the palace's people are being convinced right now? Do you realize what you've done now? Dan Yun reacted with shock. It doesn't matter anyway. If we don't overcome this situation, the palace will be in the demonic cult's hands. I assume that's not what you want either. He turned to Dan Yun. You are of the same bloodline, so you should know the hidden secret of the decree. Dan Yun realized. Oh, the divine relic chooses its owner. Dan Baekhyun asked, what do you think are the qualifications? Dan Yun answered, the blood of a Dan. That's right, he may be the demonic cult leader, but the divine relic won't choose him. That's what we need to focus on. He shouted, cult leader Qian, our divine relic has the ability to choose its owner. It contains the souls of our ancestors. Yowen asked flatly, so what? Dan Baekhyun continued, you cannot be considered the true owner of the divine relic if you are not chosen by it. Yowen asked, can you prove that you're its true owner? He fell for it. He shouted, our founder created the divine relic. Of course we can prove it. Yowen smiled. Interesting. Alright, then prove it. Dan Yun was confused. Huh? Dan Baekhyun smirked. He's given us the opportunity that easily. It's because he held it himself that he thinks we're lying. You'll regret having given us this chance. He signaled to the boy. Dan Yun thought to himself. He's letting me go first because he thinks I don't have the right. I'll break that ego of his. He walked toward the staff. Father, ancestors, and former palace masters, please help me so that we don't lose the divine relic to a traitor. The boy grabbed the staff and immediately groaned. Kook, he thought in horror. Oh, what? This cold chi is beyond what I had ever imagined. Young palace master, use the ice-white divine arts. You need to withstand it to be chosen. Dan Yun roared. He was blasted back by the freezing energy. Keu-heuk, an elder cried out. Young palace master, Dan Baekhyun noted, he was bounced off as soon as he tried to use the ice-white divine arts. So the young palace master wasn't chosen. How foolish. There is one thing you are not aware of. Though being of the Dan blood is a requirement, there is something more important. I'm sure you know now that you've experienced it yourself, but in order to become the divine relic's true owner, you need to possess chi and cold chi strong enough to repress the divine relics. It's not something you can try to take when you've only reached 5th mastery of the ice-white divine arts. Dan Yun grit his teeth. Cult leader Qian, may I attempt it now? Yowen replied, go ahead. Finally, it's my time to shine. If I am chosen by the divine relic, the elders in Guardian Pavilion won't be able to complain about me anymore. He powered up. Now, watch. This is the ultimate ice-white divine arts. He used the ice-white divine arts 8th master level. He gasped. The cold chi is piercing through my palm? How? He struggled. Kook, I can't repress it even if I use the ice-white divine arts at its maximum capacity. I feel it rejecting me too. Why? Why is it rejecting me? The elder warned. Palace Master Proxy, it's too dangerous. Fall back. As if I am the strongest of the Northern Sea. A massive blast of ice energy exploded. The elder cried out, Danju Cheo, Palace Master Proxy. Dan Yun watched in silence. Impossible. How can this be? Yowen walked toward him. Do you get it now? The demon lord picked up the staff effortlessly. Yowen stated, this is why I can't give you the staff. Mo Ying Kong thought to himself. I can't believe it. This is the absolute worst-case scenario. He observed the Demon Lord. Not only did he take the Dragon Turtle's essence core, but he also took the Divine Relic. He knew we would fail, that is why he let us try to take the staff. Dan Yun thought to himself. It wasn't just the bloodline of the Palace Master that could take the Divine Relic. Did he just use us to prove himself to all the palace's members? Yo-Won looked at the proxy. Thank you for helping my case. Just kill me instead. He sat on the ground defiantly. I cannot acknowledge you as the Palace Master no matter what. The Ice Palace warriors knelt before Yo-Won. The soldiers shouted, Palace Master Proxy, we will follow you. Yo-Won addressed the defeated man. You can't acknowledge me. The Demon Lord smirked. Will you believe me if I show you, then? He raised the cold ice staff and unleashed a massive burst of frozen energy. Danbaek Yun yelled in pain. Kook, and my eyes. The narrator explains. The scene jumped forward 2 weeks. The reconstruction of the Northern Sea Ice Palace was underway. A palace warrior remarked. The reconstruction is going well. Another warrior agreed. There are still big holes we have yet to cover up, but at least the water is all gone. The first warrior added. It's all thanks to the cult leader Cheon. Dan Yun stared at a giant block of ice sealing a crater. He thought to himself, freezing up the hole that big in just a moment, it becomes even more impressive the more I look at it. Will I be able to do that someday? The boy wondered. He's probably the only one who could do such a thing despite not being of the Ice Palace's bloodline, right? The elder replied, he is not one an ordinary person would dare to comprehend. But I'm glad things worked out thanks to him. Dan Yun nodded. Right, I was mistaken until I found out about his true intentions, after all. The narrator explains. The palace members were convinced the moment he froze the area in a second. The boy thought to himself. At first, I thought he was taking everything from me. It would have been worse than if Danju Cheon had gotten the position. However, he remembered the Demon Lord's announcement. Yo-Won had commanded, I will take in the young palace master Dan Yun as my disciple and teach him the cold ice heavenly art. After that, I will step down from my position as the palace master so that my disciple, Dan Yun, can take the position. Dan Yun thought to himself. Perhaps that was his goal from the start. I became his disciple, and he became a part of the palace. I did get autonomy guaranteed, so it's not all that bad. An elder approached. Palace master, do you have no lessons for the day? Dan Yun answered. He's going to be interrogating him today. Elder Soul asked. Why don't you talk to him again about just executing him? It'd be for the best even if some elders are against it. Another elder agreed. I concur. Dan Yun argued. If he's executed now, the elders and others who followed him will be in opposition. The elder muttered. Ahem, but I don't know. It is true that it'd be very dangerous to keep him alive. Dan Yun looked toward the prison camp. Wouldn't it be better to just kill him and deal with some of the palace members' opposition? Well, the decision will be made today. The narrator explains. Inside the Northern Sea Ice Palace reconstruction camp in temporary prison, Danbaek Yun sat in a cage of ice. The prisoner thought to himself. I can't destroy nor melt it no matter what I do. It's as tough as steel. He observed the cage. It's definitely the cold ice heavenly art. The ice-white divine palm can't make ice barriers this strong. He continued thinking. I thought it'd be impossible for him to master it properly, but he's reached 5th mastery in such a short time. I guess it's nothing for him. He lamented. Even the righteous North Sword Li Mok, one of the 5 great martial artists of Zhongyuan, was more skilled than me, yet the gap was not this vast. There's no other way to describe this man than as a monster. He sighed. Rather than just waiting for my death. I should have fought him when I had the chance and died that way. I regret my choices. The tent door opened. Yo-Won entered the room. The prisoner thought to himself. I can't tell for sure because my inner energy is restrained, but I feel suffocated. Like the sun is too near. He's totally different from how he was 3 days ago. Has he completely absorbed the essence core? The Demon Lord announced. We found the body of the 6th elder, Wan Sang-o. The suspicions about the dragon turtle's missing head are cleared. Yo-Won noted. I have undone the acupuncture point so that you can speak. Why are you not answering me? The prisoner replied. I told you it wasn't me. They must have stolen the head from your tents. Yo-Won stated. No, it wasn't the Orthodox Murim Alliance either. Danbaek Yun asked. What do you mean? I thought there were people missing from the Alliance as well? Yo-Won explained. 2 days ago, we found parts of the Black Shadow Squad's corpses about 40 kilometers southeast from here half eaten by beasts. The prisoner gasped. Oh, what? Yo-Won added. And there were traces of the Supreme Saber Divine Martial Arts on their corpses. Danbaek Yun asked in horror. You mean it was those people? The narrator explains. The scene shifted to the Potala Palace on Lhasa's Red Mountain, a sacred site of Buddhism. Usually, one would hear the sounds of scriptures, but the place was a mess with more than 1,000 corpses burning. A masked man wearing a conical hat stepped on a small glowing bead. He remarked, "How sickening." He looked at the bead. "There are so many Sarira coming from them. I guess it's to be expected since they're all monks. I never thought I'd get to see this thing in real life." He chuckled. "When we burned the Dalai Lama, there was enough Sarira for 10 people. I guess that just proves how good of a monk he was." Yet even he was unable to withstand more than 3 turns of attacks from the Blade Master. He looked toward a large hall. Anyway, it's already been 3 days since the Blade Master went into the training hall just for the Dalai Lama. I wonder how much longer it'll take him to fully absorb it. A hawk flew down and landed on the man's arm. He removed a small scroll from its leg. The masked man shouted in shock. He stared at the paper. "What is it?" He read the report and grit his teeth. The man announced in disbelief. "All members of both the Blade Massacre Squad and the Demon Iron Squad are dead?" The narrator explains. A man walked through the corridors of the Potala Palace toward the exclusive training hall for the Dalai Lama. The subordinate thought to himself. Opening such huge iron doors with just chi. He wondered, just how great is his internal energy? The air inside was as cold as the wind of the northern sea. The subordinate thought, his presence fills the entire room. A massive creature, the coon of the northern seas, was held in heavy chains. It was the Great Pung, one of the 5 sacred beings. The Blade Master warned, "I believe I warned you not to interrupt unless it was for a special reason." The subordinate stammered nervously. "Be Blade Master," he reported. "The Blade Massacre Squad, their leader, and the Demon Iron Squad have all died at the Northern Sea Ice Palace." The Blade Master asked, "What?" The subordinate screamed as he was lifted by his throat. The subordinate choked. "Choke," the Blade Master stated. "You mean you failed?" The subordinate thought to himself. This extreme cold chi coming from him. He must have absorbed most of the spiritual chi of the Great Pung's essence core. The subordinate spoke desperately. The demon god had intervened," the Blade Master repeated. "The demon god?" the subordinate explained. "Why yes, if it weren't for him, we would have been able to bring back the dragon turtle's essence core safely," he continued. It seems like the young leader of the Northern Sea Ice Palace asked the demonic cult for help." He added, "But we took one of the heads of the dragon turtle before the Blade Master roared." The subordinate was thrown against the wall. "Kook," the Blade Master asked. "Demon god. Is he after the 5 sacred beings too?" The narrator explains. Immortal White Classics was one of the 3 greatest books of mystery. It was a book that tied together strange stories from ancient times in 108 pages. The story of the 5 sacred beings was told in talk of the Kirin, the Phoenix, the Divine Turtle, and the Winged Dragon, but there were no accounts of anyone actually witnessing these creatures. The narrator continues. However, in Immortal White Classics, the 5 sacred beings were talked about in such detail that you would think the author himself saw them. The first manifestation of the 5 sacred beings was during the time of the 3 sovereigns and 5 emperors. A new one would appear when an era ended. The narrator explains. There were mythical creatures that would terrorize humankind like the fire Kirin or the dragon turtle, but the others of the 5 sacred beings preferred peace and just dedicated most of their lives on building up their spiritual chi. The narrator continues. There was a mysterious quote in the book that most laughed off. However, one man took it seriously, shaking up the entirety of Zhongyuan. This man was Qin Shi Huang, the first to unite Zhongyuan. The narrator explains. According to the records of the fallen Qin, the immortal physician Xu Fu explored all the places of Zhongyuan with thousands of girls and boys to grant the emperor's wish. Ultimately, the wish was never granted as Xu Fu went missing in Sichuan. The narrator concludes. Some say Xu Fu had actually found the Great Pung but went into hiding because he believed that Shi Huang would further his tyrannical rampage. The scene returns to the Dalai Lama office. The subordinate thought to himself. "Kua, I feel like I'm gonna die from the pressure of this true energy." He feared. It wouldn't be strange if he just killed me right now. The subordinate reported. "We've lost the dragon turtle's essence core on top of the fire Kirin." The Blade Master reacted. The Blade Master burned the maps in his hands. "I have prepared this great plan with all the maps that record the location of the 5 sacred beings. Now they're all useless." The subordinate thought to himself. "The 3 divine samadhi fires." The Blade Master commanded. "I'll give you one last chance. Head to Changbai Mountain while I absorb the rest of this essence core." The subordinate asked. "What you mean?" The Blade Master declared. "The last essence core shall be mine." The subordinate groaned. "Huke." The subordinate thought to himself. The map is completely fine despite the fact that the ground has been obliterated. He observed. The Blade Master has reached the pinnacle of control when it comes to handling internal energy. The subordinate asked. "However, Blade Master, he is protecting the entrance to Changbai Mountain. As you know from 20 years ago, his martial technique is." The Blade Master snapped. Who told you to defeat him? The subordinate apologized. Sorry, the Blade Master reasoned. If the demon god got 2 of the 5 sacred beings' essence core, that means he, too, wishes for eternal life. He continued. He will definitely head to Changbai Mountain as well. Do you understand what I mean? The subordinate wondered. What you mean? Could it be? The scene shifts to Qian Yo-won at the Northern Sea Ice Palace. Yo-won stood holding the cold ice staff as it began to glow. The golden metal wrapped around his body and transformed into armor. Danbaek-yun asked in shock. This is the hidden power of the relic? Yo-won confirmed. Yes, Danbaek-yun thought to himself. I can't believe it. I thought it was pure coincidence that he earned the cold ice staff and that it was only because he found it first that he was recognized as its owner. He considered. But even when I read the records, I don't remember reading anything about the divine relic splitting itself up to become armor. He wondered. Does that mean none of the founding emperors have seen its true powers? Well, I also thought that the secret power was the cold ice heavenly art itself. The traitor realized. It really has chosen him, hasn't it? He looked down in despair. Ancestors. Why have you chosen someone who is not of your bloodline? He grit his teeth. No, perhaps as soon as it let an outsider kill one of us, the spirits of our ancestors were sick and tired of us. Is it just karma? Yo-won offered. If you wish to give up your life, I will kill you right now. But before that, I have an offer. Danbaek-yun looked up. Yo-won proposed. If you swear your loyalty to me, I will give you the commander position over the northern regions. Danbaek-yun thought to himself. He wants to make me commander? I will rule over the entirety of the north? The demon lord held out the cold ice staff. Danbaek-yun reached for it and grasped the weapon. He thought in awe. Ah! The divine relic is no longer rejecting me. The demon god is siding with me. He looked at Yo-won. The man standing in front of me is perhaps the strongest man to ever exist. If I could leave my name behind in the history he will write out, what greater glory could there possibly be? He decided. Yeah, I'll side with him, he declared. I accept this chance you have given me with honor. Although I am nowhere near good enough, please, receive my loyalty. Yo-won announced. I appoint you the commander of the north and the 3rd grade elder. Danbaek-yun replied. Much obliged, the narrator explains. Just like that, another martial master strong enough to be one of the 5 great martial artists became Qian Yo-un's subordinate. The narrator concludes. This was the moment, the first time, Qian Yo-un revealed his desire to unite the Zhonghu. Yo-won observed the man. He's fine after holding the staff. The narrator continues. It was 2 weeks ago, after escaping the underground caverns, inside the heavenly demon divine cult leader's temporary tent. Yo-won thought to himself. I was able to learn the cold ice heavenly art without difficulties thanks to the yin qi I have. However, that's not all there is to the divine relic. It's faint, but I can feel an ancient power in it. He wondered. What is this? The staff flashed with light. He reacted in shock. I am being sucked in? He felt a familiar sensation. This feeling. It's like when I got the heavenly demon sword. Red feathers drifted through the air. He asked. What is this? A giant red bird roared as a man attacked it. Yo-won thought to himself. I can't believe it. A man in white fur clothing is taking down that giant bird. I see. This is a memory that remained in the cold ice staff. The ancestor aimed his weapon. Is this where the heart is? He plunged the staff into the beast. Yo-won thought to himself. The true power hidden in the divine relic is the great Peng's spiritual power. Although a lot has been lost because it's been neglected for hundreds of years, it's balancing itself with the cold qi I already have to add to my spiritual power. It feels like I've finally absorbed all of the staff began to glow and shift in his hands. Yo-won asked. It's changing like the heavenly demon sword. Nano, analyze this material. The system replied. Analyzing the substance of the object. This golden staff is made of the same substance as the heavenly demon sword. It is a material that does not exist on Earth. Yo-won thought to himself. The staff was supposed to have been made from a meteor that fell on Yunnan. The way to change it is like the heavenly demon sword. Then perhaps the heavenly demon sword also has some of that meteor mixed in. He wondered. To possess 2 weapons like this, is it just a coincidence? Another person can touch it now that I've absorbed the spiritual power in it. Yes, I erased the quote that was engraved onto the staff, but that's because I have the nano suit. He smirked. There's no harm in getting someone as talented as him as my subordinate if all it takes is a divine relic that is now divine in name only. The scene shifted to the Northern Sea Ice Palace temporary physician's room. Marakim thought to himself. He won't wake up even if the demon lord and the head guardian imbue him with true qi. Hyobong muttered. I feel like we should hurry and take him back to the cult. Marakim explained. The demon lord said that it might be an effect of the parasite that was in his head, as well as the brainwashing. Well, it did take him months just to wake up when he was injured because of the side effects of the demonic blood reversal art, he thought to himself. He had been brainwashed for a longer amount of time. Who knows when he'll wake up? He addressed the unconscious Cheon In-ji. You're the first cult leader I served. A lot has changed during your absence. The divine cult, which had been shaken by the sixth sex, is currently, even the supreme saber of six martial arts sect you had considered to be so dangerous is now afraid of the current demon lord. Cheon In-ji began to cough violently. Hyobong gasped. Demon lord, Marakim commanded. Hyobong, get the demon lord right away. Hyobong shouted. Oh okay, I'm on my way. Cheon In-ji struggled to sit up. Marakim asked, are you alright, demon lord? In-ji whispered. Ha! Head guardian. Has it been 20 years? Marakim reacted. I didn't think I'd see you again. In-ji muttered. Demon lord, Marakim cried out. Demon lord, you're bleeding. In-ji replied. It's alright. It's not an internal wound. Marakim thought to himself. His nose is bleeding as well. He doesn't seem to be in a good state. In-ji took a breath. Phew. A golden aura surrounded him. Marakim thought to himself. Golden energy? This is the body transformation technique, which only the head of Shaolin Temple can learn. It's a completely different kind of cultivation technique compared to the heavenly demon cultivation technique, so how? The narrator explains. This technique is said to have been created by Bodhi-dharma. It contains the essence of Buddhism and is considered the best cultivation technique of the orthodox Murum. However, it can conflict with the kind of internal energy you cultivate using heavenly demon cultivation technique, so you have to give up the true chi you had before to learn it. Marakim observed. He's looking better with time. In-ji sighed. Ha! Yo-won entered the room. Head guardian, what's going on? Marakim spoke. Demon lord. In-ji thought to himself. Though my true chi was damaged, I managed to reach the mystic realm in exchange. So I thought I'd be able to discern most people's skill level. Yet I can't see the martial prowess of this young man, who barely looks 20. He asked. You are. Yo-won bowed. I, Cheon Yo-won, offer my greetings to the former supreme heavenly demon. In-ji reacted in shock. Cheon. Yo-won? Are you Hua-yan's child? He thought to himself. Of course I recognize that name. When Yu Zhong said he was going to marry a maid, the six sects were all against it, and I had to step in to mediate. Before I left the cult, Yu Zhong had asked me to name their child. Marakim clarified. He is the current demon lord. In-ji asked. The current demon lord? Is that true? He addressed Yo-won. When I left to go to the supreme saber of six martial arts sect, Yu Zhong was the one in reign, which is why I thought he would still be in power. He thought to himself. A child that's not even from the six sects has become the demon lord. I can't believe it. I thought they'd do something about it. So he's managed to escape the cycle of their manipulation. What a miracle, he spoke. You've become the demon lord, huh? I'm surprised. Can you come closer? Yo-won stepped forward. In-ji took his hand. Your hands were tiny when I first met you. You've grown so well. He smiled. You look just like your mother. Yo-won thought to himself. What is this warm feeling in my chest? Is this familial love? In-ji said. I'm so glad you're all right. Yo-won thought to himself. Grandfather. Cheon In-ji whispered. Grandfather, huh? He smiled warmly. It's nice to have you call me that. Ha ha ha. Yo-won thought to himself. He's different. I thought it'd be hard to feel this kind of emotion without having a child. In-ji suddenly gasped and sat up. And no, this isn't the time. Where are we, head guardian? Marakim replied calmly. Please, calm down. This is the Northern Sea Ice Palace. In-ji muttered. The Northern Sea Ice Palace? Then, he grabbed Yo-won's shoulders. Yo-won, we must stop them right this moment. Yo-won urged. Grandfather, please relax. In-ji insisted frantically. We cannot let them take the Dragon Turtle's essence core. There is no time. If they get all 5. Yo-won explained. They didn't take it. You don't need to worry about that. In-ji blinked. They didn't? Yo-won announced. I was the one who took the Dragon Turtle's essence core. In-ji asked in shock. What? Is that true? Yo-won stated. I realize that your health is not yet stable, but how were you captured by the Supreme Saber of 6 martial arts sect? In-ji sighed and looked at his hands. I thought it would protect the Zhonghu and our cult. However, it's because of my mistakes that Abbot Ji Yuzhong and the others were sacrificed, Marakim thought to himself. Ji Yuzhong is the former Shaolin abbot who disappeared 18 years ago. Now that I think about it, Mo Ying-yan said he was among the steel-masked martial masters. In-ji warned. Yo-won, we still shouldn't let our guard down. There are other mythical creatures like the dragon turtle. To be exact, there are the Amugi, the fire Kirin, the great Pung, and the white tiger remaining. I'm sure the supreme saber of 6 martial arts sect is after the others, Yo-won responded. I'm aware of that. I stopped them from taking the essence core of the fire Kirin in the Imperial Tomb. Inji gaped. What? Yo-Won thought to himself. Young leader, are you alright, Left Guardian? However, the sword demon's sword techniques will not work on me. Now that I think about it, there was a time when a spy in our cult went after the treasury of the Demonic Arts Academy. Perhaps that was to get the Amugi's essence core. Inji stammered. The Amugi? The Demonic Arts Academy? What do you? Yo-Won summoned his weapon. Inji gasped. That's... Could it be? Yo-Won explained. It's the real heavenly demon sword imbued with the Amugi's essence core. Inji shouted in disbelief. The heavenly demon sword? I heard only the true successor of the heavenly demon could get their hands on it. You're telling me Yo-Won is? He asked breathlessly. Why, you mean you not only have the essence core of the dragon turtle and the fire Kirin, but also the Amugi's? Yo-Won confirmed. Yes. Inji muttered. I can't believe it. Demon Lord. Yo-Won thought to himself. Should I not tell him about the great Peng? Inji settled his breathing. Now that I've calmed down, I should give my proper greetings. He stood and knelt before his grandson. I, the 22nd cult leader, Cheon Inji of the great heavenly demon divine cult, offer my greetings to the second heavenly demon. Yo-Won assisted him. Please get up. You're putting me in a difficult situation. Inji laughed. Ha ha ha. What's so difficult about this? This is the happiest day of my life. Yo-Won thought to himself. Grandfather carried all the burdens on his own shoulders and sacrificed his life for the cult. If the heads of the 6 sects were like this, there never would have been a civil war, Inji observed. The fact that you got the true heavenly demon sword and obtained all those essence cores must be because of the founding heavenly demon's guidance. Yo-Won thought to himself. The founding heavenly demon's guidance. That reminds me of the time I got the heavenly demon sword. It'll take a while to absorb all this energy. Looks like it's not for me. Perhaps it's just me reaching. Inji spoke seriously. However, I think it's about time I reveal everything. If time has passed as much as you said it has, then it all started 25 years ago. The demonic cult under my reign was expanding into the West. The narrator explains. Back then, Wang Yian, the head of the Unorthodox Alliance, had just defeated a former man of the 5 great martial artists to take that position for himself. The powerful military of the divine cult was able to push the unorthodox forces to Yunnan. We were crushing them, but the 6 sects had a lot of complaints about pushing further west. Marakim noted. I recall, with the power we had, we could have gone north to expand into Zhongyuan, yet you focused on the west instead. Everyone questioned your decision, Inji explained. I had no choice back then. I had an oath with him. It's been 50 years since our first meeting. I was young and full of life. Like our former leaders, I dreamed of expanding into the center of the Zhonghu. The person to stop me was the former abbot of Shaolin Temple, Abbot Gu Zhang. The narrator explains. Though he was a very respected man of the Zhonghu, he was not especially famous for his martial prowess. But after almost half a day of fighting him, I realized that there are many hidden grandmasters in the Zhonghu. I lost with a severe internal wound. It was my first time ever losing. I wanted revenge. That is why we made an oath to meet up every 5 years for a duel. Gu Zhang spoke. Amitabha, if you bring an army every single time, many people will die. Why don't just the 2 of us meet? The narrator explains. That was the beginning of our long rivalry. For 20 years, embarrassingly enough, I never once defeated him. On our 5th duel, I finally won. I had been waiting for that victory for so long. I was able to push north as the oath had declared. However, that did not happen. 25 years was long enough to establish an understanding and respect between us. The first time I defeated him, we became friends. That was why I gave up pushing north and went west instead. He was a hero to the Orthodox, but we were the only ones who knew the truth. We would meet to talk about our life's troubles. He was a very good man. Then it happened. I headed to our promised location like always, but he did not show for 2 weeks. Inji continued. Shortly after, I caught wind that one of the 10 disciples of Shaolin Temple went missing, and Gu Zhang went to Anhui himself to search for him. Although it went against my ideals to intervene with the business of other sects, I headed to where he was. My curiosity got the better of me. I thought it would be fine since it's not far from the cult. As I was searching, I found traces of a fight deep in the woods. One of the techniques seemed to belong to Shaolin Temple. The other one, however, was unique. It was identical to the traces left on the 7th cult leader after his fight against the Supreme Saber God, that I saw during the 6th level exams of the Demonic Arts Academy. Yo-Won thought to himself, the Supreme Saber Divine Martial Arts. That's the Supreme Saber of 6 martial arts sects blade technique. Inji asked, you figured out its name too? During the test, I thought it was just a story of the past, so I didn't listen to the lessons very well. But after seeing those traces, I knew it was serious. After 2 days of searching, I found Ji Yu Zhang fending off many martial masters in a valley. I joined him immediately. Though it took some time, we were able to take everyone down. The people we fought used all kinds of weapons, but the martial arts they used were the Supreme Saber God's techniques. Ji Yu Zhang shouted, "Do not kill all of them." Inji explained, "I didn't understand why, but because of his request, I captured some of them alive." "Hey, these blade techniques they used, who are they?" "The descendants of the Supreme Saber God." Inji exclaimed, "The Supreme Saber God?" Although I suspected it, it still came as a shock to me. The world's best blade user had disappeared long ago, but here were his descendants. I knew Ji Yu Zhang had gotten involved in all this while searching for the missing monk. However, it turned out that wasn't true. Yo-won asked, "Do you mean," Inji concluded, "he actually knew about them for a very long time?" The narrator explains, 500 years ago, the Supreme Saber God appeared in the Jianghu for the first time. His first victim was Qian Moyi, the 7th leader of the heavenly demon divine cult and one of the 5 great martial artists at the time. The narrator continues, 2 years later, the Supreme Saber God left another trace at Mount Song. Gong Wun, the divine monk of Shaolin, also one of the 5 great martial artists, was killed. He was a divine monk that everyone in the Jianghu had admired. So all the sects, big and small, worked to chase the culprit but failed in the end. The narrator explains, 2 years later, an influential figure of the unorthodox alliance, the Iron Death Martial King, Yuk Zhonggyong, was found dead. Another 2 years later, it was the best swordsman of the Wudang sect, Chung Mayan, the Wudang Sword Immortal. The narrator continues, the only person to ever stop the Supreme Saber God was the sword demon of the divine cult. Inji addressed his grandson, "Yo-un, I have to tell you why it was the sword demon who had the Demonic Arts Academy built. It was to prepare for the Supreme Saber God and his successor, who would reappear in the future." "Huh? How do you?" Marakim thought to himself. The Demon Lord has also passed the 6th level of the Demonic Arts Academy. He already knows about the sword demon's will and the secret storage. Inji gasped. "What? He passed the 6th level's trial?" He laughed. "Haha. You're full of surprises. Well, it'd be stranger if you didn't pass it given your martial prowess." He continued, "But it wasn't just our cult that prepared for the Supreme Saber God's coming." Yo-won stared at him. Inji explained, when the 2 giants of the Orthodox Muram Alliance, the divine monk of Shaolin and the Wudang Sword Immortal, were killed, the Orthodox Muram also formed a secret organization to track the Supreme Saber God. The narrator explains, the name of the secret organization was the Hidden Recluse Forest. Marakim thought to himself, that is the name of the secret organization Ji Yu Zhang was in. Yo-won thought to himself, the Hidden Recluse Forest, it's an organization that is supposed to appear when a bloodbath occurs in the Jianghu. No one had seen or heard from them for 500 years, so everyone thought they were just a rumor. Inji stated, the Hidden Recluse Forest actually exists. Ji Yu Zhang was a part of it. Most of the 5 greatest martial artists died to the Supreme Saber God, so it makes sense that the Orthodox Muram would do something against it. He continued, however, they chose a different path from us. While the Sword Demon focused on fostering martial artists to fight the Supreme Saber God, the Hidden Recluse Forest focused on discreetly keeping track of the Supreme Saber God. Inji sighed, but the biggest problem was, he did not leave any traces behind whatsoever. Still, the Hidden Recluse Forest looked for clues, even when everyone else had given up. Like how the Sword Demon looked far into the future. He explained, their prediction was right, too. 200 years after the disappearance of the Supreme Saber God, blade traces that were assumed to be his were found in the Jianghu province's Beiying Mountain. He continued, there was something strange about the traces, though. The technique was less complete and stable than when he had killed the martial masters previously. It was written in a way that made it look as if someone was pretending to be him. The narrator explains, those traces were all they found until 50 years later, when they found more north of Jiangsu. They said that those traces were much more developed compared to the previous ones. Although they were still far lacking compared to the past murders. Yo-won asked, did the Hidden Recluse Forest come across him? Inji replied, no. Despite discreetly tracking him down, it is said that he left nothing behind other than those traces. He added, since the formation of the Hidden Recluse Forest and until then, they found many traces of the Supreme Saber God's blade technique, but he never showed himself. He looked at Yo-won. That said, there is something we learned from those traces. Yo-won asked, what? Inji spoke grimly, that the traces left behind are slowly becoming like the ones left on the bodies of the martial masters he killed. Marakim and Hyobong reacted with shock. Inji explained, the Hidden Recluse Forest came up with a theory. They suspect that they are actually left behind by the Supreme Saber God's descendants and that they did not learn from the Supreme Saber God himself. Yo-won thought to himself, that makes sense. If there were no official texts for his techniques or the training methods were lost, it might have taken them a long time to develop them again little by little. Inji stated, the most important thing is that the Supreme Saber God's descendants exist. They realized that the hidden recluse forest was after them and appeared in the Jonghu to find them. He continued, more than 3 martial masters of the hidden recluse forest had gone missing by the time they realized what the descendants were doing. That was when Ju Ahm of Shaolin, who was also part of the hidden recluse forest, volunteered to act as bait to track them down instead. He noted, it was thanks to his sacrifice that they were able to meet the descendants. Ji Yu-jung and I managed to capture some of them alive, but their heads exploded, killing them, before we could even ask them anything. We failed to find anything out about them because of it. Inji explained, 20 years ago, we came across one whose martial prowess was ridiculously better than the others. He appeared with others in steel masks. The masked man laughed in the flashback. Here are your old friends. Have a fun reunion. Cuckoo kick. Inji continued. At first, I had no idea what he meant. After a fierce battle, we lost the martial master of the hidden recluse forest. But we captured those wearing the steel masks. We only understood what he meant after we took their masks off. Among the enemies in the steel masks was Ju Ahm. He looked down. The others were also martial masters of the hidden recluse forest we thought were dead. We didn't know why, but they were all under some kind of hypnosis. As we tried all kinds of ways to undo the hypnosis, the parasite in their heads exploded, eliminating them. He added, however, it was different with Ju Ahm. The hypnosis on him was already partially undone. He said that the Supreme Saber of 6 martial arts sect had become very powerful enough to take on the entire Jonghu. He sighed. He couldn't hold on for long before he died. There was no way to save him because he was gravely wounded during the battle. However, his head didn't explode. We got permission to split his head open to see why that was. That's when we found something shocking. The parasite in his head was sleeping, as if it was hibernating. The conclusion we reached was that the parasite was deactivated by the power of Buddhism. Yo-won asked, did you learn the muscle tendon changing classic too? Inji confirmed, yes, it was to infiltrate them. I, too, was a member of the hidden recluse forest, after all. Marakim and Yo-won gasped. Inji explained, the muscle tendon changing classic is very good at stabilizing the mind and body. Ji Yu-jung and I figured out that the muscle tendon changing classic is very helpful in stopping the parasite in hypnosis. We thought we could use this to infiltrate the Supreme Saber of 6 martial arts sect. Marakim asked, then is the reason you entered isolation training back then to learn the muscle tendon changing classic? Inji replied, yes, but it was also to recover the cultivation technique of the Heavenly Demon Sword Art. I believed the Heavenly Demon Sword Art was the only counter to the Supreme Saber Divine Martial Arts. However, a sword technique is not complete without a cultivation technique, so I spent a long time trying to recover it. He continued, I wanted to stay in the divine cult until I mastered the muscle tendon changing classic. The more I learned the muscle tendon changing classic, the stronger the Buddhist energy in me grew. I thought Qian Yu-jong or the 6 sects might notice, so I left the cult prematurely. After a few years of preparation, I infiltrated them under the pretense of being defeated. Marakim stood in silence. The head guardian asked, why did you take on this burden all on your own? If you had told me, Inji replied, you had your duties as the guardian of the Heavenly Demon Authority. How could I make you neglect your duties? Marakim cried out, ah, elder. Yo-won thought to himself, grandfather wasn't kidnapped. He went to them on purpose. Grandfather, Inji explained. Once I was taken by them, I opened my eyes again in what I assumed was their base. At first, they tried to negotiate to get me to tell them secrets of the Jonghu's forces, but when that didn't work, they tried to threaten and torture me. Yo-won thought to himself, I saw all the scars left by the torture earlier. Inji lamented, it was my foolish misunderstanding to think that we'd get all that we needed if we just endured the torture. We were tortured for nearly 10 years. To top it all off, we ultimately succumbed to the hypnosis. In those 10 years, their hypnosis arts had surpassed the muscle tendon changing classic. He continued, embarrassingly enough, I have absolutely no memory of when I was under hypnosis. However, I did not die. They thought that they completely turned me into one of them and made me a part of their great scheme. From time to time, I tried to figure out their real goal whenever I could stop the hypnosis for a bit. I couldn't use the muscle tendon changing classic whenever all of the martial masters around me. He grit his teeth. Sometimes it took me a month to get it together. Other times longer. There were gaps in my memories because of that. The hypnosis and the parasite were getting adjusted to the energy of the muscle tendon changing classic. I'm sure it was the same for Ji Yu-jung. Yoan asked, did you figure anything out? Inji hesitated. They were really amazing. They used a coded language, and I couldn't understand more than half of it. Yoan thought to himself, is it the simplified characters? The divine physician's texts, which they were after, were written in the simplified characters, too. A shame. I could have decoded it. I guess it was impossible to steal anything though. Inji added, in the end, the best I could do was to copy down what I saw. Yoan reacted, really? Inji confirmed, yes. The problem was getting the copies out of there. But I got my chance. I was a part of the plan to get the dragon turtle's essence core. Thankfully, I got my consciousness back for a bit in Hubei, so I was able to hide it. Yoan thought to himself, my memories aren't intact, but that code was probably left by their founders. This is good. If it was really left behind by the Supreme Saber God, I might be able to find out his real goal. Inji smiled. After that, the hypnosis was undone for a bit when I was fighting the dragon turtle, so I gave the boy of the Northern Sea Ice Palace my plaque to seek help. Who would have thought you, of all people, would save me? I have to thank the founding heavenly demon for this miracle. He addressed his grandson. You asked about the 5 sacred beings' essence cores, right? I wanted to know why they can't have the essence cores. I can't believe it, but if what they said is true, then, Inji declared. Eternal life and immortality. The essence cores will give you that,